Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Original Box Sets Friday Night Frights. I'm the Game Master Max, and I have with me tonight Paige playing Agent Jones.
Hello.
It's been a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a sabbatical. Maybe sabbatical is a good word. I like it. We'll say it's been a sabbatical for a little while as we have been dealing with summer vacation and schedule and stuff like that. And now we're back to find out what happens next. So let's kind of get a pickup to find out exactly where our hero was last left off at. Agent Jones has been on the case to find a murderer, a serial killer. And this serial killer has had the very normal lunacy or lunatic pattern, striking only at the full moon, and there you go. Now I'm a bit more centered. Striking only during the full moon. The way the murders happen, vivisections, organs removed, and there's Cassie. Do you just it? And it has been, up until this point, a manhunt to try to find this person. No murders have happened. There have been a total of 3 murders, but no new murders have happened, and we have drawn very, very, very close to the full moon. And within the last few game sessions for in-game, that's been the last few days, a lot of things have happened. The last 2 days have been incredibly active, as Paige has come across the suspected thing, because they realize it's not, or at least they assume that it's not a person anymore. Paige's character, Agent Jones, who is, for lack of a better term, an expert in the paranormal, has been tracking this thing down and now realizes that whatever he is dealing with, it is not human. We have come to this point in our story where things are getting intense and interesting. And I want to bring to everyone's attention that we have been running this game in a homebrew system that I created out of a reaction to other outwardly pressures from the world of gaming. And I feel that this horror system, this thriller system, works out really well, but I was exposed to a different type of game style called Dread that uses a Jenga tower. I was enthralled, and I will happily thank Oz every day I see him for introducing me to this game, because I personally want to have my own Jenga tower just to play a game of Dread. But I needed to bring that same level of tension into this game, and so tonight we're going to not have a Jenga tower, but have a number pool. We are going to generate a pool of numbers. Me, Paige, and the audience, if they want to help, will generate a pool of numbers that Paige and I will pull from throughout the game. 3 numbers are already determined: a 5, a 10, and a 15. We have 12 more numbers to pick, and there will be a total of 15 numbers in this pool, a 3x5 grid. Yes, Acid, the audience has already selected the first number. No, I'm joking. The scale goes from 3 to 18. 42 is really high, and that's almost like an instant fail in this system. So, although I would love to say, yes, let's put a 42 in here.
Yeah, isn't lower better in this system?
Lower is better in this system. And so we have a dice roller in front of us. I have one, and Paige has one. Now, of the 12 numbers, I'm going to roll a portion. Let's see. I should probably roll, I'm going to say 5 of them. Paige, you're going to get to roll 5 of them yourself, and the audience gets to pick, or 2. The audience gets to pick 2. Now, audience, of course, you guys can roll and then tell us the numbers, or you can just make it up, like 42. So we'll take the first 2 numbers in our chat, and we'll put those into our pool. Now, to keep track of this pool, Paige and I are going to write it into the screen that we're looking at. And I should probably have... You know what? I think I can do that. I'm going to have an art pad pop up real quick.
I'm just going to put it straight on the Roll20 page.
We can do that, too.
I'm going to make it red. This red's nice.
Okay.
11 and...
A 9. 11 and 9.
And
very
9.
nice average numbers, guys. That's very good. All right.
And then you said we already have 5, 10, and 15.
5, 10, and 15 are already part of our numbers.
Okay.
Where are you writing these guys at?
Right there. I just don't have them in order yet.
Excellent.
And then I'm going to retype them down below because
Sure.
I want them in order.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull out the dice roller, and I'm going to roll 5 of them now.
Go for it.
All right. So here we go. 7. Look at that. That's nice.
7. Nice.
A 6.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. 6.
12.
Okay.
11.
Which we have. Do you want another 11?
Yeah, we get another 11.
Sweet.
And last but not least, my final roll is another 11. 3 11s.
Nice.
Those are rather average. That's good.
All right.
All right.
My turn.
Do you want to use the dice roller, or are you going to roll your own dice?
I'm gonna roll. I think rolling's much better. 3d6. I'm not gonna write all of this out. Hold on. Copy. 12. 12. 11. Hold on, I gotta... Fuck! I gotta rewrite all of my shit. I'll do that later. 3.
Number 4
11.
is another 11.
And
And another 11. Wow.
We're gonna have all the 11s.
Mediocre down the line. Not any
All right.
really bad numbers except the 2 15s.
Yeah, 9, 11. How many 11s do we have?
Oh, let's count. Acids. And then there's
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 11s.
Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we
Half
have
of the numbers are 11.
12, 12, 3 12s, and we have 2 15s?
No, we only have 1 15.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard. So this is the numbers that we have so far.
There we go.
And I can't make them any bigger, but there you go.
I don't know if I can make them any bigger.
If I could, I can. Hold on, I can. I just 2016 seems about right.
How's
Oh,
that?
there you go. That's better. I don't have to retype them.
Nope.
Perfect. Perfect.
Excellent. And so the way this pool is going to work is as we go along, Paige is going to need to pull from that list. I'm going to need to pull from that list. NPCs and monsters are going to use that list of numbers. And once the list gets down to whatever's left over is what we have to work with. If I need a number and the only number left is... oh, yes, we need to slide this over a little bit, put it into his head.
I don't know why that was funny to me.
If we run out of numbers and last number is a 15, well, then if 15 doesn't pass, then 15 fails. Of course, modifiers are going to bring your dice, what your skill is up. And so if there are enough modifiers to bring it up, then that's great. If whatever happens, we run out of numbers, we will refresh the pool. But if this comes to a dire situation, I will let the audience... refresh the pool for 100 bits. If not, whatever happens, happens. So it's kind of like a little bit of a tension there. All
Say
right.
something happens where all we have left is 12, 12, 12, and 15, and you're like, I want to throw a number in. I want that pool to be refreshed because they're just going to keep failing.
Yep.
And yeah, 100 bits, and then
we'll refresh the pool. All right. I don't need that. I got that there. Only thing I need to look at is page. So,
my beautiful
shed some
plate.
light on this subject. There we go. Yes, you are. I want a bit of you. Participate. Increase the tension as you're like, oh, I'm helping. That doesn't increase tension. Floodlight.
Are you gonna turn that on when the were truck sees you?
And then the were truck drives by.
Right? I mean, it does look like it, just a very tiny version.
This is very
needs to be multicolored too.
The were truck. Who was it that actually came up with? Was it Acid that came up with the were truck or radio?
I honestly don't remember.
I remember it was one of you two guys, and if I remember correctly, I do believe it was Acid who first suggested aliens in the chat.
Aliens.
Got the phone muted.
Speaking of which, hello, you two. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah, I think you two are the generators of Were Truck and Aliens. Which, by the way, I love them both. They couldn't be more wrong, but... I mean, I guess you could probably say Alien is right and Were Truck is right.
To be fair, it was going to happen anyway with the way Elliot is. Alien Were Truck, yeah.
We left off we left off Agent Jones. Yeah, a terrestrial Were Truck.
Terrestrial Were Truck.
We left off Agent Jones. Sarah Van Hawk had reached out to the agents and said, Father Father Dick Jones, had recently... That's correct, Acid.
Agent Jones.
Father Jones had recently slipped out of... had come by their house and borrowed... No, she had found out that through a friend of theirs, Father Jones had come by their place and picked up a shotgun to go hunting after getting away from the police. And Joe Walker was going with Agent Jones and Agent Garrett, and you guys were going to be going into the woods. You were going to be heading to, let's see, what was the name of the area? Slide over to our mappy map.
Mappy map.
Siglerville. Yes, that's right. Heading over to Siglerville. To where the little girl had been drawing, or the little girl lived who had been drawing the pink child with the blonde hair. Yes, Natalie. Natalie had been drawing the little pink girl. It was a bunch of puzzle pieces that got put together because Natalie, of course, is one of the children that attends the Sunday school at the Father Jones's church. And so here we are. Agent Jones, Agent Garrett, Joe Walker are going to be meeting up outside Natalie's house. And I think that's where we ended at, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. I think we were on the way driving and pulled up to the house.
Yep.
How
And
late is it, by the way? It's like 6 p.m.
It's
right?
6-ish. You know, you've got probably about an hour to 2 hours of daylight left.
Cool. Great. I'm just realizing, which I think Elliot will mention once we all meet up and we get out of the vehicles. You do realize that we're showing up to this person's home armed and possibly going to explain the craziest shit that they've never heard before.
So are you, if I remember correctly, Joe said she would meet you
Near the... Was
yeah,
it near the...
but not at. So I'm assuming, we're going to assume, because Joe was driving a modified Jeep.
Yeah.
She was 100% country girl, as well as 100% badass on top of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And she had things that she's not supposed to have.
No. I pointed that out. So since we have to drive out there, don't mind me, I'm fixing my mic. If we have to drive out there into the woods, Garrett's like Honda is not gonna get us out there.
No, but
So-
her Jeep would.
So we have to meet up with her,
You
like
have
elsewhere.
To. Yeah.
So let's just meet up at like a gas station or something.
Okay, we can work
Garrett's
with that.
Honda. Yeah, for real, for real.
Siglerville has a dilapidated gas station in town. It's a 2-story wood building, painted white. It's been boarded up, and they've got one of those old-timey gas pumps that have a glass bulb on the top of it that says 67 on it. Some sort of collector thing that if those junker guys were to drive by, they would take it because, you know, it's valuable to them.
Surprised it's not gone yet.
Very, very, very far out. You guys are in the hills, the mountains. There are caves all around, and bears and terrestrial were trucks.
Oh, why?
When you guys meet up at the gas station, Joe is standing by her Jeep in a tank top, camo pants, and her jacket thrown over the back of the Jeep, waiting for the two of you as your little Honda Civic pulls in.
Ring, 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 ring. I'm assuming it's a Honda. That's the first car that came to mind.
Oh yeah. You pop out, do quick greets, swap vehicles, lock the Garrett's car behind him, and slide up into her Jeep. She points out the road that leads. I'm trying to remember. She knows it's in this area. And
Yeah.
I remember the conversation you guys had. She said, I got a really good idea where it's at, and I know of a couple of places to look. And she wants to go look at some of the caves and the Coke plant. And when I say Coke, I'm not talking about Pepsi Coke. I'm talking about the stuff you burn. And I'm not talking about the stuff you burn to get high. I'm talking about the stuff you burn to get warm.
I was gonna say you gotta make sure that
You gotta cut out. There's so much Coke going around.
So much Coke going around. I think immediately Elliot's gonna mention that our suspect that we did put in behind bars just to hold him overnight escaped and is armed with a hunting shotgun. So we're not only looking out for a silver snake beast thing, we're also looking for a man who obviously knows where this thing is. So if you ever hunted men before, and or rather, without saying that, If you know how to track something, I'm pretty sure you know how to track someone.
How does he know? She'll ask, cutting in, just like straight to the point. I mean, I've been tracking this thing and figuring this out for weeks. I have military experience. Who's this suspect and how does he know?
I'm only assuming that he knows. He could know where it is. After all, he did claim to have summoned is a bad word, but called upon it for a noble purpose, and obviously it went wrong. Or
she's driving at this point in time, so her eyes are on the road, and you guys are now, you've gone well past Natalie's home to the end of the road, and now you're banking back and making like a snaking effect that goes up the hillside.
That, or he's just running in the forest wild, desperately looking for this thing, which if he is, he'll get caught in a trap sooner or later. He's an old man, for Christ's sake.
You pull up to a stream that's coming off the hillside. It's pretty decent. You know, this is probably one of the streams that run into town, and she gets out, walks over to it. It's got a rustic bridge that you have to actually manually align to get across. It's not laying there because it's taken down, you know, to avoid hazards. And so she gets out, hooks her winch to it, and begins pulling it, gets back in, cranks everything, cranks the winch, pulls the bridge across, pops back in, drives across. So getting up to this coke plant isn't going to be like an easy task. Once you get past the bridge, you're driving through some sparse and some dense woods on very wide trails. She asks you, you keep playing around and not mentioning names. Everybody around this area knows each other, so might want to let me know who I'm looking for.
Fair point. Father Jones. Dick Jones, I believe.
Kinda know him. Don't know much about him. Never went to church.
I don't blame you. You seem to know this area well.
I was born here. I was raised here. My dad's a hunter. My mom's a hunter. My brothers were hunters. I had a lot
up
to
here in the
compete against.
coke plant area?
No. We traveled all over the place. There wasn't a bit of Pennsylvania we didn't hunt in.
Well, I meant more of the current area, the current location.
I know of it. I've been here once or twice. I'm not one to run around and rummage through old buildings and whatnot. It's kind of beautiful the way that nature took it back. At least that's what I think.
I'll have to agree with you there.
Garrett leans from the back seat, looks to you, looks over to her, leans back to the back seat.
And Elliot's like, he's leaning in the front seat looking out the window. But he'll like look up in the rearview mirror and just give Garrett a look like, don't even fucking assume.
At some point the trail gets a little bumpy, and she has to kind of start pulling off to one side in the process of driving around. And at this point, she's using her eyes on the road and being as perceptive as possible. So I'm going to take one of the 9. I'm going to take the 9 out as she is watching the road ahead of us, and everything's moving. When she does this, she comes to a stop at one of these like divots that she's driving around. As she pulls up onto the other side, she stops and she lets the Jeep roll backwards for a minute before she puts it into gear, then pulls the emergency brake, turns it off, and slides out of the side of the Jeep, which there are no doors. That's how she rides. No doors. Don't need them. She slides out.
Don't need them.
Combat boots hit the ground, and she starts walking across the way. She squats down and looks across the road, up the road a bit. Stands up, looks at you. A man in penny loafers just came this way about an hour ago.
And I won't even question how you know that. but clearly you have some talent there.
She climbs up in the Jeep. It rained about an hour and a half ago. And these tracks are fresh. She cranks the Jeep back up, pops the emergency brake, peels out a little bit, and begins driving back down the road. And as she does so, she's watching the ground. He's following the road.
I would too.
He's old, and his left leg is injured. At that point in time, Garrett's just shaking his head like, this is too much.
Yeah, Ellie's just looking at her going, huh. Like, it's no, I'm sorry, it's incredible.
Ranger training. Because you remember her credentials is Green Beret Ranger.
Yeah.
Not just like a Green Beret, or she went to Ranger school, but she's a Green Beret Ranger, which is a really, really hard combination. If you don't have it, what it takes, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you have to be picked for Ranger school, and you have to bust your ass to become a Green Beret.
It's funny how much our skills are so different, and yet we're using them for the same thing. You would make one hell of an FBI agent.
She gives a nod. I don't play by too many rules, though.
That's for sure. To be honest, if our superior knew about what we were doing, we'd lose our badges in a heartbeat. So,
I
you're
figured
not
as
the only
much.
one.
This is definitely out of your jurisdiction and your protocol, right? Isn't that what you call that stuff? Protocol?
Kind of. That's a little too formal. At least for Garrett and I.
She looks over her shoulder to Garrett, who's still been quiet. So you two a thing?
Elliot just kind of chuckles. I mean, if you consider, what was his name, Nicholas in college, yeah, but that was a phase for you, wasn't it, Garrett? No, he's married.
Yeah, Garrett's looking at you. What are you doing?
Shut up!
Yeah. The coke plant comes into view. Man, so dark, my camera's having issues keeping up. I gotta stop wiggling so much. The coke plant comes into view. Stacks over the tree lines can be seen. Being married doesn't discount the possibility in this enlightened age. That's very true. He could be married and you two could still be a thing.
Nothing has happened yet, and I like the idea of having two companions that are just friends. There's too many games out there that are like, oh, there's two companions, they'll date. So
you gotta date now. Date. Bro.
Even though Garrett and Elliot would be, oof, so cute together, but no.
I rolled 19 plus 4. Does that mean I score?
That sounds like a pickup line, I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, it was a pickup line in a role-playing comic.
Oh my god, that's
Actually,
amazing.
I think it was 19 plus 4. That means I score.
Okay. My AC's a lot higher. You better try.
The stacks to the coke plant rise over the trees, very visible. The buildings are brown bricks, red bricks, kind of brown red bricks mixture, one brick, varieties of darkness. Moss trees grow up all over the place. You come across the remnants of the gate that surrounds the facility. It still stands. The gate is closed, but not locked. It's not impossible just to pick up the gate and move it out of the way. People have made efforts to lock it. But, actually we'll say that it is locked, but that doesn't change anything because Joe gets out and she pulls the pole out of the ground that the chain is attached to and just moves the gate out of the way because it's never been like cemented into the ground. It's just there.
I've in real life I've had a friend do this for me so we can get back into a Hopefully, I mean, policemen can't go swan diving through my window, but we have trespassed in areas where he had to lift a gate up from the ground because it wasn't cemented.
Yeah.
And then he kept that pole because it came apart. So...
That's what you do. Joe drives the Jeep in, pulls it up in, and then pulls the gate back behind and shuts it and puts the pole back into the ground. She takes a moment and begins walking around the grounds. Still holding on to that 9, she begins looking for the tracks. He's not here. About a fifth of a mile back, I lost his tracks. I think he cut into the woods. We might have beat him here.
Strange.
She crawls back into the Jeep and then drives from the gate down and around the bend, climbing one more turn and into the grounds to where the coke plant sits. 4 or 5 rustic brick buildings scattered about, concrete pads, parking lot overgrown. The ground's pretty busted in here, lots of dirt trails, and all the buildings are very close and tight-knit that they provide lots of cover or areas where the thickness of the trees around you cannot really be seen too well. You feel like you're in an industrial complex because of it, how much there is. So there are lots of old cars and trucks that look like they're from the 40s and the 50s. There are construction materials around. There is a couple of trailers that don't look like the 40s or 50s, something like 60s or the 70s. And there's a streamline up here as well. So it looks like whoever owns it have been using it as a dumping site or a place to put old things that they no longer want. She pulls the Jeep up and comes to a stop and pops out. Garrett gets out as well. She goes to the back of the Jeep and opens up to her stash.
Now, as Elliot's hopping out, he'll start basically. He'll ask Joe first. Have you actually seen this thing and or attack anything?
She shakes her head. No, I've only seen signs of it, but I've got some pretty good idea. It's not small.
No, it's definitely large. It can lift a car. He'll pull out his notepad and do like a really rough sketch of like a snake, like kind of like a dune worm, but on the front he'll draw little eyes and in them little like just C shapes for like hooks.
Yep.
He's not a good artist, but he says basically this is basically what it looks like. The eyes, if you could call them that, they jut out this hook of some sort, a barb. It will go inside of you, try to drag you closer, and then the thing will crush you. I aimed for those eyes once they were opened, and that seems to have weakened it. The other thing is that girl that Garrett and I have been seeing. I've noticed, I don't know if it was because I aimed my gun up and shot through my roof where she was, or if it was the truck that was coming towards me, but when it let me go and I was able to escape, that's what I aimed for. I aimed for her. So, that and the eyes. Other than that, this thing moves fast. And so do the hooks that can obviously hook you and pull you into it.
She nods, pulls out the rather large AR-15 with scope and underside mounted tubular thing that looks like a grenade launcher. She begins stuffing canisters into her puts her camo vestment on and begins stuffing canisters that look like they fit into the grenade launcher into her pouches as you talk, grabbing an extra couple of clips as she's making sure the AR-15 is loaded. She puts it down and then pulls out a long rifle from the back. Looks like a very high-powered sporting hunting rifle. She slings it over her back, picks up the AR-15, then pulls out 2 hand pistols, side pistols, and stuffs them into holsters on either side. Like, and Garrett's got his like little rinky-dink pistol. He's like, yeah, pistol.
Yeah.
Look at me,
Elliot,
I can make a bullet pop out.
Elliot, he just kind of like, he takes off his jacket to have his button-up shirt, and around it has his holster, where basically his two handguns are right underneath his arms. And they are sexy as fuck. They are silver and gorgeous. Obviously personalized.
Obviously not a regulation either.
Nope. But, I mean, even Garrett's probably seen it, but this is probably Joe's first time actually seeing his silenced handguns that aren't really a thing that you're allowed to have in the FBI agency.
Nope.
But he'll move over to the back of her Jeep and point at a shotgun and just go, "Can I use that?"
She'll knock, yeah.
He'll grab that and I guess sling it onto his back, and or if there's a holster, but
there's none.
You know,
you
where
just
it needs
gotta
to be.
carry it.
Oh, okay.
It's a hunting shotgun.
I'll carry it. It's fine.
She
My
hands
internet
you a
might
box
be
of
going.
ammo.
Awesome, thank you. My internet might be going right now.
Oh no!
AT&T has been having problems. Before I go, because right now my chat is not good. But yeah. Usually when this happens, I either have to wait it out and or restart my PC. So okay. AT&T has been having problems. So yeah, I'm gonna exit out of Twitch because it just closed everything. I'm surprised Discord's still going.
I'm happy Discord's still going. It means our audience is still hearing us.
Yeah. Continue. I will try to get Twitch going again.
All right. So, Joe, you, and Garrett need to make perception checks to see what's going on around the encampment. Because Joe even says, we should spread out and look for clues, see if we can find any kind of sign of where it's at. Garrett says, isn't that how it always starts off?
Yeah, even Elliot basically just goes, no, we should stay together. And he basically points at Garrett when he makes this comment and goes, yeah, that's as much as we want to get grounds going or anything of that nature. Or, you know, get the layout of the land. I think we should move together, especially if we do run across this thing. Which, if we do, we should see it coming with the lights, but I guess it could be stealthy.
She attaches a light to the top of her. She swaps out the... attaches a light to her, the end of her gun, and then pulls out a shoulder pack.
Did she say anything? I'm sorry, you cut out when it was happening, and or my thing went out.
She is attaching like a flashlight to her gun and putting a flashlight on her shoulder. Okay. Fine, we can stick together. We need to find the priest who came up here, as well as see if we can find any clues. So, an awareness from the three of you. Now, Garrett doesn't have a really good awareness, and he's mostly focusing in on trying to find the priest.
That's fair. Lucky for him, neither do I have a really good awareness. If I can actually get this, I can't get this up. Sweet. My awareness is a 10.
All right.
So plus 1. So I'm gonna take an 11.
All right.
Because then it'll average out.
Garrett's awareness is also an 11. So he will be taking an 11 as well. Joe's awareness is a 13, so she can take a 12.
Okay. How about chat? Okay, get rid of Twitch before it fucks up my PC. Jesus. It's working! I'm making it work! I swear, AT&T. If there's a chance that someone's from AT&T watching, get your shit together! This is insane. All right. Yeah. I'll take an 11 because I have an 11.
All right. So we lose 2 11s and a 12.
And a 12. Sweet.
Joe is watching toward the Coke plant production facility. So there are 4 parts to this place. There are the storage facilities, there's the processing plant, there's the extraction point, and then there are the office buildings. Joe is watching the processing plant. Garrett, or what's his, Klaus, is his first name, right?
Yeah, Garrett Klaus. Yeah, Klaus Garrett.
Klaus Garrett. Will be watching the main offices. And you get to pick between the extraction, basically the mine, or the storage. Which way do you want to watch?
I'll watch the mine towards the area.
Okay.
Unless we're walking towards it.
No, you guys are walking into the complex, and this is how you're moving around. These are where your perception checks provide.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking towards the mine.
Okay. While watching toward the mine, Garrett calls out, "Hey, I think I see the priest. He's over there by the office building."
Is he alive?
You see he's walking. You guys are walking by buildings, taking cover. Joe is moving specifically in a direction, in a way in which moves her from cover to cover. She's not taking any risks or fucking around with this.
Yeah, I would imagine Garrett and I are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
I mean, we're trained for this shit type of thing.
Yeah. So when you guys get up to a section of building and you keep your eyes out, you see the priest, or I should say, Garrett points out the priest, who is walking across the field, and he's kind of like meandering just between the buildings and whatnot. Joe doesn't say anything but hunkers down. What do you want to do?
Is he walking towards the building? You said he was walking in the fields?
Yeah, he's walking in the fields between the buildings, and like he's looking around. Like maybe he doesn't know what he's doing or where he's looking for, what he's going to do.
I'll give Garrett a look of like, you know, like I see him type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll very obviously we're speaking in hushed tones, but I'll basically whisper to him like, do we cuff him now or do we just watch what he does? Clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
Garrett's response is, he's a civilian who's armed and he's putting himself in danger, and we already know that he's part of an investigation.
Good point.
We should probably let the local police know where he's at, but that would also put, if this thing is here, more people in danger. We should probably secure him somewhere where he can't do any more harm to himself or anyone else.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'll lead. You'll be right behind me. And Elliot will
Garrett stops you and says, "I'll lead, you'll follow." It's an old man with a shotgun.
Fine.
Procedures are my...
You can blame yourself.
I'm not going to get shot. I've got you on my back. So, Joe says she's going to wait right here. Keep eyes on Garrett. And you need to... Oh, you blanked out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No, it's fine. You're
my
back.
Screen completely went blank. That was weird.
That's totally
I'm
cool.
still online, right?
You are online.
My PC's telling me that I don't have a signal to my my monitor.
Really?
The fuck is happening?
This is a good horror
Spooky
game.
shit, man. Where trucks?
Where trucks?
Blaming fucking where. I'm like wiggling
And
my
then that
mouse,
happens.
dude. Fucking where trucks. All right, well, I guess I'll restart because I'm like, I don't even know what to do.
Oh, you want to restart your computer?
I have to. I can't like. I'm clicking. I can turn off my monitor and turn it back on, but like, my webcam's still working.
Yeah.
All
right.
Can you guys even see me?
We can totally see you, and you're still
I mean,
streaming.
we can keep going. It's just I can't see anything on my monitor for some reason.
Well, why don't you go ahead and cycle your computer? We'll go to a break screen, and we'll be right back.
Thank you. Sorry.
and technical difficulties aside, we are back. Say hello, Paige, so we can make sure that people can hear you.
Hello! I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
alive. My allergies are still punching me in the face.
Yeah!
Oh.
Ace, it looks like you just slammed your fingers into the keyboard just with that.
No, I got you. It's welcome back. I can read it. It's just corrupted.
Yeah, it's corrupted.
We
Deeply.
hear her. We hear. Are you alright? You having a stroke?
Oh.
Please don't.
No, please
You're in the middle of nowhere, and so just tell your cats to resurrect you. I'm sure Latte will do it for you.
So, Garrett and is going to be swooping around to catch the priest off guard, and you're going to be swooping around the other way to give Garrett some support, but not be in any line of fire in case something actually goes bad. So Garrett's going to take... Garrett wants to sneak up on the priest. Priest has a gun.
Yeah.
And Garrett knows that he has to be safe and quiet. Garrett's skill at sneaking is really good. He can take a 12.
Nice.
So he's going to.
Go
That'll
for
put
it, man.
Garrett on the priest. Now the priest, on the other hand, is being as observant as he possibly can. And he doesn't know what he's doing. But Garrett is... so we got to figure out which one of these numbers the priest is going to take.
What is it gonna be?
I think he's going to take an 11 because he's not that skilled. I don't think he should be.
I can back up that decision.
You move from one building to a pile of bricks and old windows. You move forward to the next, which is several trucks. As Garrett's gotten closer, the father's looking. He's walking specifically to the production facility. He looks like he's aiming particularly for that in question. And you move from the trucks that you got to along the length of a shed, and you know your feet away from right around the corner the priest is, and you can hear him walking by. You're waiting for the moment to turn to where you can swoop around and get eyes on him while Garrett comes up from the other direction, so as it's a two-man pinch, so you can get the gun from him. As you have your back pressed up against the shed, your face, you're looking in one direction. You look out of the corner of your eye, and the road that winds just ever so slightly at a slight angle from where you're at, around the slight corner, and into the gaping mouth of the cave entrance. From this distance, you see a tiny figure in a white dress with blonde hair standing at the entrance of the cave. It's 7-ish, shaded. The sun's starting to go down now. And there's a tiny little girl at the entrance of the cave, about 300-400 yards away.
Great. Is she looking anywhere?
At you.
Okay.
Or at
My
least
priority
compass
is-
directions.
My priority is protecting Garrett, so I'm gonna watch him, and I'll make sure that she's in my corner, she's in my peripheral. So if she does anything,
You're going to have to
silly.
come around and either stand where you're looking like this, back and forth between the because if you face the priest, you turn your back on the girl. If you turn your back on the priest, you face the girl.
I'm gonna face the priest. I'm gonna turn my back on the girl.
Okay.
Garrett's my best friend, my partner.
You hear the freeze, FBI, as Garrett yells. You can hear. What do you do?
I would imagine that's my cue to pop out and aim my gun at the guy, and
All right. He stumbles and turns quickly as he's trying to see what the hell's going on. He's got the gun hanging in a proper position with the barrel pointed toward the gun, toward the ground. He's not holding on it like it's armed or anything. And as he starts spinning and looking, oh my goodness, he drops the shotgun onto the ground. And Garrett yells at him, "Put your hands on top of your head." And the father's just like, "You shouldn't be here." No, this isn't the movies. Guns don't go off when they hit the ground. And cars don't explode when somebody taps them with a hammer.
Elliot will basically follow procedure, let Garrett lead, and he'll move up and closer to cuff him because I have manacles. So
okay. So you do move forward. You do get up by him, and he's what's a good word? He's sweating profusely. He's what?
Oh, okay. Baffled?
He's not baffled. He's shocked, and he's terrified, and he's sweating profusely, and he's whiter than you've seen him before, even though he's outside in the sun, and he's profound at saying, "Taken aback." Yes, that's the great description there. Taken aback, and he's saying, "There's a demon here, and I summoned it, and I need to go put it down. Only a blessed bullet in the hands of a priest will kill this thing." You don't understand.
Yeah.
Please, get out of here. I have to end this.
Can I roll supernatural? I mean, I know werewolves can die from a silver bullet and everything like that.
Yes, you can.
Oh man, how good is my supernatural? Let's see. Supernatural. I think it's like really good, right? It should be one of my. There it is, paranormal. 13. So is there a 12? Yeah, I'm gonna take a
12.
I'm gonna take a 12.
Okay.
Oops. All right. Well, it's gonna be like that.
Psh, it's fine. We can keep track of the numbers. No, there's no such thing as holy bullets. It's a cockamamie story. If this is a demon, holy bullets don't exist. Bullets and demons aren't supposed to even have a body that is even worried about bullets. You need like a divine blade of some type created by, God himself. One of the angel's swords. Because that's all a demon is just another type of angel that's just fallen from grace. So their anatomy would be the same. Bullets would be...
Yeah, demons just... You need an exorcism for that. If it's possession. Which I don't think it is. Which Elliot will basically say out loud. Like, you don't need special bullets to kill this thing. And, as he'll put the guy's arms behind his back, and while he's cuffing him, I will look over my shoulder for the girl.
And of course, there is no girl in the entrance to the mine.
Alright. And then I'll give Garrett a knowing look of, I saw that bitch. Which actually, fuck it, he'll say it out loud. He'll just go, I saw the girl near the cave.
The priest looks up to you as Garrett's about to ask something. The priest yells out, "You saw the terrible beasts disguising itself as a child. That child is not a child. It carries the mark of the beast, 666. Don't believe it." And at this point he's handcuffed and he's trying to get up in your face. You can smell that his breath is rather off. Either he's sick or sickly or low blood sugar or something. He just
Is his leg injured still?
Yes. As he moves around, he definitely is favoring his right leg.
Yeah. Elliot will kind of lift him up a bit and start walking back to the Jeep, I guess.
Okay.
I guess that's the safest place for him to be, into the back seat. handcuffed. Unless anybody else has an idea, which Elliot will say aloud. Like, I'm just gonna put him in the back.
Joe's like, don't put him in my Jeep. If we put him anywhere, we'll put him somewhere, but we're not going to put him in the Jeep.
Well, we can't carry him around either. He's injured.
We can put him in one of these buildings, she says. She walks towards you and goes, there's no way we should leave him in my Jeep while we're gone.
It is your Jeep. I'll let you decide.
She looks to you and then pats the massive gun in her hand, goes, there's other reasons he shouldn't be in my Jeep while we're
I got
gone.
you. I get it. he like pulls a Father Jones towards one of the buildings, and I don't know. I'll find an office building.
Storage, the office buildings, the production facility, and then there was the mine.
I'll go to one of the office buildings.
Okay.
And I'll look behind me and make sure the other two are either together or they're going with me.
They're going with you.
Okay.
They're sticking to the stick together plan.
Good. And then once there, hopefully there's an office building that's alone, like a singular office building.
There are 3 office buildings. One is 2-story, and the other 2 are smaller, 1-story. They mostly look like mechanical tool sheds of some type, turned office building. Joe comes up and pops the lock. It's a glass door, and she just jabs a Jimmy bar into it and pops the door open and into the office building. Dust, cobwebs, dirt, debris, signs of other people have been through here and whatnot. There's still some old-timey office furniture in here, as well as what looks to be a collection of new furniture that has been brought in and piled up. Like I said, it looks like whoever owns it is just using it for a fancy storage shed.
Good. I'll take one of those chairs.
It's a nice rolling chair, too, with cushions and whatnot. Ew. Something you might want to take back to your office kind of chair.
And I'll set Father Jones in it and cuff him to the back of the seat because of the neck of the office chair. Yes. I'll do it that way.
Yeah, okay, sure, not a problem. All right.
And I'll as he's, sat down, Elliot kind of kneels and goes, I'm going to look at your leg. Do not kick me. And he starts rolling up the pant leg.
Okay. He fell on something. It looks like a stick of some type. It's like a nice gash down the side of his leg. Went up under the blue jeans, the pants that he's wearing. So his pants are a little cakey. And good news is the blood around the wound is black and dried.
All right. So it's not that deep. It's going to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look painful, though.
Yeah, especially open to the air. Elliot kind of just rolls back down the pant leg. Doesn't pat it or anything. Doesn't touch it. Just stands up going, you're fine. You're going to... It'll heal.
You can't leave me here. I have to help you kill it. By the way, this ranting of religious nonsense has not stopped. Tears have welled up into his eyes, and he is begging at this point in time.
Yeah.
Saying that God has ordained he must undo the wrong that he has started.
Okay. Elliot kind of folds his arms a bit, and he'll look back to Garrett and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
He'll gesture to them to move outside of the office, and he'll follow right behind and then stand near the door. Just so they can talk outside. Unless it's like the windows are broken and he can hear, this guy can hear, which is fine. But I just kind of want to be secluded away from him, but not away where we wouldn't be able to hear and or see him.
Right.
So, Elliot's just gonna shrug. If Here's the thing, we can get another guy that actually has a gun, clearly knows how to use it. He was hunting before, he's been hunting. Who can back us up in this situation, clearly knows what this thing is, or claims to know what it is. He's obviously devastated that we are locking him up like this, but let's be honest, even if we do find this thing, or if we don't, he'll be behind bars in the next morning. And him leaving custody is just more proof that he's, well, it would make him the actual murderer in this case, not this creature.
Joe
It's solid
shrugs
evidence.
and says, if you want to bring him along, that's fine with me. But he's going to be in front of me. I'm not going to have him behind me with that shotgun.
Of course not.
And I would rather swap his bullets out for solid slug. Put him on like either the left or the right side of us as we move about, because there's no way I'm going to have... And Garrett's like, are you really thinking about this? Listen, you two, he's not okay.
No, he's not, but he wants to help.
You're going to let a crazy man with a shotgun wander around the woods? Oh my God. At this point, Garrett puts his, he's put his gun away. He's now rubbing his head. He's got his hands on his sides. Like, I can't... Do I have to be the voice of rational here? This man's not okay. He's injured, he's hurt in the head, and he thinks he's talking to God and has to fight the devil.
Either way, he wants to hunt this thing. He knows what it is, and he's the one that summoned it. I mean, where else could it have come from? He knows what it is. His reaction when I confronted him at the church, it doesn't matter that he's insane or injured. One, that injury is nothing. That will heal. It just hurts right now. Oh. Two, I'm just as crazy because I believe in this shit.
Ah.
And I'm wondering
Joe doesn't say anything. She has a solid face. It's no emotion from behind her glasses. Mirror reflective, highway trooper kind of glare as she stares at him. We'll give him one round of ammunition, solid slug, keep him to our left flank, and a little bit forward from the rest of us. She gives a nod over to Garrett. We keep him in front of you, and then you have more control over him, since you're trying to be so level-headed about this.
Fine. I think we need level-headed reasonness. Which I understand your caution, Garrett, but imagine being in the situation like he is. If he truly believes that this thing is a devil or a demon, and he did this, you would want to hunt it as well. You wouldn't want to be tied up or locked up. And like I said, he does this, and let's say we actually kill this thing. Or let's say we don't. Either way, he's going to get locked up if he lives through the night. He knows that. We know that.
He pulls you to one side, away from Joe, and says, I don't feel okay with any of this. There's nothing about this that's okay. I mean, I'm willing to go the distance about this, and I've seen some crazy shit, but we can't drag a crazy man out into this crazy shit. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. Joe pipes in, if you two girls are done having your little whisper party and we're not about to break off and go have a tea party, I need that shotgun so I can load in solid slug and we can get moving. We have less than a day before the next full moon, and I'm not going to wait for this thing to come out and kill somebody. I want to get to it before it gets to someone else. Now either we give Crazy Man here a shotgun with one bullet, keep him to our left, or we stop crying about it, Mr. Garrett, Agent, and we move forward with life. Garrett's, you can see he's pretty pissed being, talked to that way.
Yeah, after Joe speaks, Elliot just goes, hey, leave him alone. And he'll look back at Garrett and go, she's right, though. I mean, I would basically say the same thing, except not insulting you. I respect you too much.
He hands the shotgun over to Joe, who then immediately, with one hand, near the rifle butt,
Yeah.
shakes it to pop the open, pulls out the 2 shells, rotates in a shell that she's holding, slides it in, closes it, all with, just chirk, 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 chirk.
Yeah.
And then she hands the loaded shotgun back. She takes the buckshot that he had and sticks it into one of her pouches and says, all right.
I'm glad she took it. I was going to take it if she wasn't.
Hey, Mike. Nice to see you. Friday Night Frights is going pretty good. Death Striker is someone I know. His name's Mike. He and I are playing a little Shadowrun game on the side. And it's going pretty good. They just ran across the crazy priest with a shotgun and were able to take him out. In the sense of making him no longer a problem, not killing him. Because these are federal agents. And federal agents wouldn't just want
that
him.
shit.
Yeah, we don't do that
That's
stuff.
Shadowrun shit.
Yeah. This game has been nothing but a giant legwork.
Yeah. But good legwork, and not
legwork.
like good legwork. Oh. Yeah, they have rendered him harmless.
Yeah. Now they're about to hand a loaded gun back to him. So you go in. Who do you want to go in, or do you want Joe to go in, or do you want Garrett to go in and explain to the priest what he's going to do? How he's going to help?
I think I'll let Joe go in, and I won't go in after her, but I'll give Garrett a look, and heavy sigh, and he just kind of goes, "Are you okay with this? I mean, really, we're gonna go into a mine shaft, and like I said, if Snow White finds out, we're fucked."
If this thing's real, none of this matters. If it's not real, we're fucked.
If it's real, I think we're gonna have more explaining to do.
Yeah. No matter what comes of this, either it gets worse or it gets worse. He stops, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a tiny, crumpled up pack of cigarettes, and fishes one out. Offers one to you.
Yeah, I'll take it. And I'll pull out my lighter, flip lighter.
Yep.
Light up his and then light up mine.
Okay. Joe comes out with the priest unhandcuffed, and he looks to the 2 of you and says, "Thank you. I promise. I promise." Joe then gives him a little bit of tap with her elbow. "Shut up now. I told him if he fucks up, it's his own problems, and that we are not here to protect him, that we're here to work with him, and that he needs to think of us as the team." And she doesn't give him any side glances, anything. I say we go check out the production facility and see if there's any possible places it could be hiding up there. The priest says, I was going up there too. It looks like there's plenty of opportunities.
Fine. After that, we go to the mine shaft. That's where I saw the girl.
Joe turns to look at you. What?
The girl. Remember what I was talking about? That it shows of this little girl.
Garrett gives a nod and says, "Yeah." Jones said he saw it when we were coming up on the priest. Joe then responds, "Why didn't you say?" Garrett says, "We saw," and then Joe says, "Why didn't you say anything till now? Let's go there."
I did say it.
But you said it when Joe wasn't around. Joe wasn't included. The priest, of course, you said it around, and he's like, "Woo!"
Yeah.
He's not in it.
Basically, Elliot says the same thing. I did say it. You just weren't there. And besides, I had said in the beginning that we needed to be looking out for that as well. Surprised you didn't see it with your tracking skills.
The 4 of you begin moving in what Joe refers to as a spread out formation.
Yeah, triangle.
To your left is the priest.
Mm.
Straight behind you at a slight angle is Joe. And directly behind you and to your left is Garrett.
Okay.
And so that's the little formation you guys have taken. And you're walking along the road toward the mine shaft. It's not a short walk. It's a decent walk. So, you probably could have drove there in less than a minute, but When you get closer, there's no tracking roll needed. You can see them. The markings in the ground. The very familiar dig ruts, stud marks, and symbolism, the shape that the wear truck's tires make.
Great. I'll point those out, and I'm sure they notice too.
Yeah. Well, the priest doesn't, but you, Garrett, and Joe do. The cave is at the opening about 20 yards or 20 meters wide. It's been dug out. Supports have been installed into it, and a roof of sorts, rafters have been installed, creating a very wide hung area, and then it dips down into the ground. It's big enough for trucks to go into this first part, and definitely big enough for whatever this thing is to fit in. So you enter, sticking to your formation, you begin moving in. At the main entrance, there are at least there are a total of 3 passageways, or 3 tunnels, 3 cave entrances that have been dug out and whatnot. And there are construction equipment still laying around. A couple of trucks broke down. There's rail lines that run into almost every single one of the 3. And they run into all 3 of the cave entrances that go into the ground and into the mountain. Pools of water stand in different places, and yeah, so that's what you got. The markings from this thing are everywhere, so pinpointing which way it went of the 3 is going to be hard. So now this is the part where you try to figure out which direction it went, or which direction of the 3 options are the best, unless you guys feel it'd be valuable to split up into 3 teams.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. It's hard to pinpoint, but Joe said that it recently rained. Are there any ones that look more muddier? Because since it recently rained, it's probably going to be indented, and
all right, do you want to make an awareness check, or do you want Joe to make that?
I'll tell Joe to make it. She's good at it.
All right. We'll go ahead and take one of the 11s.
Okay.
And Joe begins wandering around. Joe comes back after searching for a little bit. You, Garrett, and the priest waiting. Joe has wandered, looked at tracks, moved around, and then Joe points out, I think I found the tracks, but I think I found something else good too. She goes over to a standing board on a chunk of rock in this cave, and she bashes on it until she pops this piece of board, which has been put on the rock, off, and then she walks over and hands it to you. It's a map of the mines, put up here maybe by park rangers or something. Most mines that you come across in the States will easily have a map somewhere nearby, accessible at a ranger station or something, so that if something happens, like an emergency, like Timmy fell into the cave, they'll have a map.
Yeah.
We do it, it's a commonplace thing. We also do it with islands throughout almost the entire world. There are emergency radio beacons all over the place. So, our world is a lot safer for these reasons. Joe hands the map over. All right, we know what things look like now.
Is this handy?
Garrett begins popping it off the piece of wood as Joe points to one of the 3 mine shafts and says, the wet tracks go that way.
Perfect. I say let's follow it.
All right. And so you do. When... trying to think. No, probably is over on the other one. I was going to turn on some dripping water sounds.
That
That
would have been nice, yeah.
I can pull it up real quick.
Do it.
Dripping water sounds. Add new playlist. Manage audio. Hey everybody, look, this is how you do stuff.
Want to be
Oh, there it is.
a stream person?
We're gonna add it to broke down.
This is how you extract music and then put it into Roll20. I don't know how to do it, so educational. Chat, how are you tonight, by the way? Since we're extracting music. How was your day? My day was great. My allergies punched me in the face. Really hard. So I was dying a lot, and I still am. So if you ever see me close my eyes really tightly, it's because allergies. Because it's affecting my nose area.
Thing. Let's get rid of these guys real quick. We don't need all these. Don't need more cicadas.
Yeah. I know. I get that. I get that, Ace. I get that. It still baffles me that, like, she stopped over at your house for, like, what, 10 minutes and then left, and then she's revisiting. She could have just fucking stayed. Like... Hopefully I will never meet her, dude. The stories I hear.
Acid has a terrible mom, too?
Oh, she's very nice.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, I only hear, like, the annoyance stories, so.
There we go.
Never seen Jukebox. Neither have I. I can't see it either. I'm out of tea, by the way, so if my allergies spike, it's because of that.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Yeah, she's half blind and deaf, so she's a little kooky.
Well, that's wonderful. That your mom is just half blind, half deaf. Mine is self-absorbed and a racist. So
Fair.
I don't deal with her anymore.
Out of the two of you, my mom is
An
fucking
angel.
amazing.
Your mother
No, she is. My mom is fucking great. I'd die without her, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not sorry. It was my childhood was kind of odd, and it's just one of those things. But we're not here to talk about childhoods. We're here to
We're reminiscing before we die.
Before we die. The descent into the cave is productive. Having the trail really helps. I mean, really helps, because this thing is in one general direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we don't want to bring up terrible subjects. Let's just move on with life and go to our story.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that was perfect. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Let's hunt were trucks. Think of were trucks.
Think of were trucks. Think of happy
Think
thoughts.
of happy were trucks. Happy were trucks. Someone draw a happy were truck
Empathy
with
for
like
you,
blushing cheeks.
Mike. The loss of a loved one is always a tragedy.
Yeah. I just have a very bad sense of humor. That's all.
All right. So here comes a great part. You guys are getting close. It is going to start the stealth. You guys need to make perception checks.
Fun.
The difference between its stealth and your perception checks need to be good enough that you can find it.
My perception.
Your awareness, I should say.
My awareness is 10 plus 1.
Yep. I'm going to let it pick first.
Go for it.
I'm going to give it the 7.
Cool.
Because I want to see what you do with the other numbers.
I'm gonna pick an 11 because there's 4 of us, and I trust Joe.
All right. Garrett is not making an awareness check. He's keeping his eyes on the priest.
Go
The
for it.
priest is going to make an awareness check too, but he's going to fail because he has like a 7, and there's no 7, and so now we're just going to suck up that last 11.
He's not gonna take the 15? Oh, that bitch.
He's trying. All right. So you chose an 11, and you made your awareness check, right?
Yep, which is an 11.
And Joe chose the 7. No, Joe chose Joe hasn't chosen.
No,
has
she hasn't chosen yet. Yeah.
She'll take a 6.
Yeah, Joe. Don't die, Joe.
As you guys are moving through, and everybody's paying attention, the dripping of the water has come to a stop. So I need to hit loop. Loop. There we go.
One last drippy drop.
The dripping has changed from more drip and drop to more a flood almost. And you really haven't noticed the flood too much as you are winding through these caves following Joe's directions, not discretions, directions. And then you see something that catches you off guard. It's green. You have a light. Joe has a light. The priest does not. Garrett probably does too. So you guys are walking through this cave in darkness. But amongst the dirt and the soil and the mixture and whatnot, you see green plants.
Okay.
As you're walking, you notice that in the cracks and the crevices between some of the stones, tiny ferns are sprouting. Not like right in front of your eyes, but you're close to several 100 feet, maybe close to 1,000 feet underground.
Yeah.
And that's a fern. A green fern.
Okay. I won't point it out, but I'll look at it confused.
Are you going to hang back and look at it, like actually physically stop? Or are you just going to keep walking? Because
I'll
Joe
stop.
is behind you.
Yeah, I'll stop.
Okay. Joe makes a low whistle sound. Garrett turns. The priest doesn't stop, so Garrett has to kind of shuffle ahead to get his attention and whatnot. And Joe leans in and says, "We're getting closer. These tracks are fresher."
Yeah, and Elliot kind of looks over and goes, "Perfect." And he points at the plant and he goes, "You hunt animals. Do you know anything about plants?" And I'll shine his flashlight on it.
Joe is mostly paying attention down the tunnelway, and you know, as you shine your light over there, she looks for a minute, then she looks back, and then her gaze is like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
And Garrett does it. Garrett's watching the priest, and he's like, "Come on,
Yeah.
what's going on? What are we stopping for?" And the priest is at this point has been working on being quiet as possible.
Yeah, Elliot's just gonna kind of shake his head and goes, "It's nothing important." And he'll give like Joe a look like, "Right? It's nothing important."
Joe
And,
looks
like,
at you and it's just reaches down and rips it out of the ground. Comes up, roots, soil, dirt. It's a plant.
I know nothing about the thing making fertilizer and or spitting out seeds.
She looks at it for a minute and kind of shrugs. "I don't know," and quietly says, "I don't know enough about plants to recognize what this is." But
Well,
she's
you
wearing
just-
gloves, she says, so I'm not worried.
Okay,
if it's
I was gonna
poisonous.
say you just rip it out of the ground.
She tosses it off to one side.
Well, let's keep moving.
And you do. The priest takes back gets back in the formation and begins cautiously moving ahead. And he's a little bit faster at this than you are. And so you're kicking it quietly. And as you're moving, Joe's watching the ground. Joe turns her light out. Or at least Joe's light goes out, which startles the priest quickly. He's like, he whirls around.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe looks to you guys. Turn your lights out.
Yeah. Elliot will turn his off.
Okay. It's really dark, but she has a bit of glowing strip on her chest that she pulls out. And she walks over and she tucks it back in a bit. And she makes a hand gesture. She goes, the cave we got into less than 5 minutes ago isn't on this map.
So we're off the map? Or did that thing make this?
I don't know. And then she makes a hand gesture and she says, now look ahead. Now that your eyes have adjusted.
I will look ahead.
You can see daylight. It's far, far up this tunnel. But this tunnel is going up slightly. And you can see light.
Should we keep heading that way?
I don't know. But this is where the trail's going.
Well, I guess we should go up there just to see where it leads.
We should. And she tucks the map back in and then she adjusts her light so it's a low, soft light that she begins pointing at the ground just so that she can see tracks.
Yeah.
And now you guys are moving incredibly slow as all the light you're using is what light, you shine around every once in a while on the ground as you're moving toward this other light source. The tunnel that you've moved into, you take a bit of take a bit of time winding up it, and you get to a point where the priest is really slowed down, so he needs a rest. Joe breaks out her canteen, offers some to you.
Yeah, I'll take a swig.
Offers some to Garrett. He
Is
takes
water?
a swig. Yeah, it's water.
Okay, good.
Offers some to the priest. She drinks a bit more, and then she hands some to you.
I'll take another swig, I guess.
Okay. She's like, we can't have an empty canteen. It'll make noise. We can't have a half-empty canteen. It'll make noise.
Elliot just kind of makes his face like, okay. and he'll down it, I guess, if no one else wants it. He'll offer it to the others.
The priest will definitely drink more. You notice it's really out of focus.
There you go.
It's getting warmer in here. All right.
Yeah, Elliot will kind of point that out. Like, is it getting warmer in here, or am I just really out of shape?
And Garrett shakes, nods. Joe is sweating. The priest is. So you guys pick up and continue heading. You get to a point at which you're following the trail. And as Joe's watching the trail moving forward, the light ahead of you is getting brighter. Joe moves into a clearing of sand, dirt, and odd plants. Purple vines stretch across the ground. You guys have entered into a pretty floral-looking place. You think the light that you're seeing might be coming from some sort of thing lodged into the ceiling that's emitting light, like some sort of phosphorescent material.
You said this light is warm? It's not like multicolored, or not like the light I've seen?
It's kind of like daylight. It's kind of like daylight, but it's not like what you've seen on the thing.
Okay.
The plants are very prominent in this area. The dripping pools up in water, and little rivulets run back down the path at which you guys have come across. Joe begins scouting around, using the light coming from above that's still a distance away, and begins looking at the ground. The difference between Joe's awareness skill and the thing's stealth. Joe beat her awareness by 6, but the thing beat its stealth by 8.
Yeah.
At some point as Joe's wandering around, she looks to the ground and she goes, Huh. It's breaking off in this direction. But that goes back down. Oh, shit. And Joe turns and begins heading back down the way you guys came. Come on, come on, come on. It's cutting us off, she yells. Not even being quiet. She begins storming down the passageway.
Elliot will look at the priest and just motion Garrett, like, go. And he'll, like, shoulder the priest and start walking down pretty fast. Because I know that he can't keep up.
Joe isn't walking. She's running.
I'll piggyback the bastard if I have to.
You're dragging as much as you possibly can. The tunnel that you guys have just come up has been pretty much straight. And so when the thing lights up in the darkness, you realize it's blocking your exit.
So we have to turn around and go back up if we wanted to get out.
It lights up and begins flinging itself up the passageway. Joe turns, begins running up the passageway back. Get out of the way, she screams. As you see, she grabs one of the round cylinders off her vestment, throws a piece of metal into her mouth, pulling the pin from the grenade and dropping it, heading straight towards you two. She gives no shits at this point in time.
Yeah, I lift up the priest and piggyback him and start sprinting.
There's a massive explosion behind you. It's deafening. You are not knocked forward, but you definitely run into this floral area. You have your light is not on because you guys have been keeping your lights off as much as possible, so you can barely see. You're now in what we're going to refer to as the Purple Vine Garden.
Okay.
The beast is coming up. We're going to call it a beast. The beast is coming up the tunnel you came. It must have found a way to loop around, and Joe seems to be determined to take that loop to try to get back down or get out, because now you guys have been cut off. Where you thought you were hunting it, Joe's yelling, "It's hunting us. It's hunting us. It knows we're here."
No shit! Like, that's pretty much what Elliot says.
All right. So.
Sorry, I'm laughing at
It's probably
radio.
about 100 yards down the tunnel. There's a grenade that goes off, and so either it got hit by a concussion or rocks, or maybe slowed down. You guys might have a turn or two before it gets here. You can continue heading up toward the light. You can take the side tunnel to try to loop back around it. Or you can scour the area and look for maybe a hiding place. Or maybe you can be creative and come up with something. You have a 5 and a 15 left.
Okay. Okay. This thing seems smart. That's the thing. I say, since we're kind of stuck here, and we can't really hide in plain sight.
There are things to hide behind. Rocks, vegetation. There's a pool of water. You can see how deep it is. You could run up higher and try to get to where the lit area is and look for maybe some hiding places up there. Going down the tunnel to try to loop behind it, that's not hiding.
No, it isn't. No, I was thinking, because, like, if we go near because we're in the vine room.
Yes.
It's nice and bright in here.
If
I look up, what's actually causing this light?
You can't tell from this distance. You have to get closer.
Okay.
It looks like there's a rock or something that is really illuminated.
Okay. Is this like a? Because I imagine it's like a divot. So like you walk up the hill and then it doesn't. It's not a flat surface. It like dips down and stuff. This room, this purple vine room.
Purple vine room. Yeah, it rises. You come up and then it dips back down, and there's plant material everywhere. And so you guys are wading through like a little jungle-like thing that's probably up to about your mid-thigh section.
I really hope these plants are poisonous.
You're wearing pants.
Yeah, still. Do I see any bodies here?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry if this is taking so long. I'm just thinking it's important.
That's perfectly fine. You have all good reason to think your way through this. There's a were truck coming up a tunnel, and it's going to kill you. It's going to rip your skin open and eat out your guts.
Pretty much.
And then it's going to eat Garrett's guts, and Joe's guts,
Pretty much.
and the priest's.
Pretty much.
Maybe the
We
priest
are
first.
A delicious fucking dinner. I have what does Joe have on her? It's the only thing that I can think of is basically this thing can hunt us knowing that we're here, and I don't know if it can smell us. I don't know if it can like pick up signature, and I'm gonna guess that it can smell us because any creature can. And I'm hoping that that's a thing. I want to hide because I would imagine that this thing is smart and it thinks that we're just gonna run because that's what all of his prey probably has done.
So you can hide in the vegetation,
Yeah.
hide behind a rock, dive into the pool of water, try to get higher into wherever that light is at to see maybe there's hiding places up there.
That's dangerous. I want to hide in like the vegetation and or behind something. But I want to. Fuck, his blood's dried up though. I'd have to cut something open. I guess I wouldn't mind doing that. I would like to like. And I'm going off suspicion. I'll just hide. I don't want to waste another thing. Because I was thinking I could cut off my shirt and then like cut my arm, like make it bleed on the shirt and then like chuck it down the other path or something to make him think that we went down that way. There's many things. It's also like if it's actually super smart, it could be looking for our footprints. But I think we should hide.
Okay. So where do you want to hide at?
In the vegetation, preferably behind something, but where we can at least see it.
Okay, so we have 2 numbers left. One of you will get a 15 for hiding, another one will get a 5 for hiding, and then the list will refresh.
I want to take the 15.
All right. Who gets the 5?
Garrett.
All right. It is time to refresh our list. So, audience, we need a number between 3 and 18. So the first 2 3d6 dice rolls that pop up in chat will be added to our list. Paige, we start off with a 5, a 10, and a 15.
Okay.
Acid's got a 14. Awesome.
Okay. Come on, chat. Give us numbers. 18.
Somebody's rolling D&D stats.
And a 9.
Nope, we can only take the first 2.
Oh,
so we get a 14 and 18
that's
this
really
time.
good.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do my dice rolls.
Go for it.
I thought you said 3 numbers, babe.
Did I say 3 numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Then we'll take the 9.
Oh, yeah.
I was corrected.
Even the wifey said something.
I do that every once in a while, quite a bit.
It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes.
Ooh, a 7.
Ooh.
A 9.
Okay.
A 13.
Nice.
A 5.
Ooh.
All right, I think I'm done. So that's 4 plus 3, that's 7. Plus 3 more is 13. We're missing 5 rolls, Paige.
Okay.
That's all on you.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Oh, right, it didn't copy it. Damn it. Okay, slash roll. 3d6. 10.
10.
11. 12. If I get a 13. 10. 8.
8. Oh, that's a good one. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, that's not bad numbers.
Yeah,
Let's see, the
There we go.
2 5s, but also a 15 and an 18.
10. And an 11. And I got another 10. And I got a 12. And then I got an 8.
So our first set of numbers, the only bad number was the 15, and you just got it. So now we need Joe's and the priest's stealth. So Garrett got a 5, and with his stealth skill, that beats it by 4, so that's good. 15 fails your stealth by how much?
Stealthing. 7.
Fails by 7. All right, which one of these numbers are going to be Joe?
I don't know. Do I get to pick or do you?
I'm going to pick because
I
Joe
was
can
gonna say
pick.
she's your character.
I'm going to pick Joe at 10. That'll beat hers by 4. That's a good beat. Her
Yeah.
and Garrett are both going to be really well hidden.
Really stealthy.
All right, what about the priest? If he doesn't take a low-end number, he's been spotted.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's up to you.
I'm going to give him a 13.
Oh, that poor
So
old
he's
man.
going to miss it by. We're going to make him miss it, just to kind of get this out of the way. He misses his by 5. So you miss yours by 8. He misses his by 5.
Yeah.
All right. So
It's kind of perfect. I mean, I'm piggybacking him right now, so.
Yeah. Joe immediately throws herself into the foliage as she gets up behind some rocks. Garrett rushes the foliage and then slides behind some rocks as well. As you are dragging the priest across the way, trying to find some decent amount of plant life to as you're trying to find a decent amount of plant life to ditch both you and him in, the thing comes into the tunnelway with you guys and strikes out, trying to grab the two of you.
Great.
And instead of grabbing the two of you, knocks both of you down into the foliage, and you slide not from just the foliage, but an opening into a lower chamber.
Oh, shit.
Both you and the priest tumble through foliage, rock, and a little bit of a break in the ceiling floor area. You plunge into water, and it's a nice 10-foot drop into darkness. It's a lot darker down here.
Do I still have all my stuff, though? I can
You
turn
do.
on my flashlight?
You do. And the priest has the shotgun nearby.
That's fine.
The water is probably about 4 inches deep.
Ooh. Ow. Okay.
So yeah, it hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I take any damage? Like, how far is that drop?
A 15-foot drop into 4 inches worth of water, it hurt. It's like falling into a...
It's like falling down the stairs.
Yeah, it's like falling down the stairs.
Yeah, Garrett, goddammit. Elliot will kind of groan and look up, and he'll turn on his flashlight, stand up, and immediately, like, start kind of backing up away from the entrance.
There is a plethora of strange fauna all around. Large, bulbous mushrooms in a huge collection sit nearby, all tucked in neat-looking little rows and like a cluster. Green and purple vegetation, some of which bioluminesce, and you have never seen anything like it before. There is
as long as
some
they don't-
sort of large, flat, crab-like thing walking through the mess of plants. It looks like a crab with stilt-like legs, and it's picking at the vegetation like some sort of feeder.
Well, at least it's not picking at us.
No, it's about the size of a horseshoe crab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I imagine like a huge crab. Okay. I will immediately look for the priest. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's standing up at this point in time. But not too far from him, one of the mushrooms spins around. Bulbous, pink-blue skin-toned kind of covering on it. The top of the mushroom peels back a little bit to produce a large collection of black, round, bulbous eyes. And the bottom of the mushroom is covered with a plethora of tentacles. It looks like a smaller, less devious version of the thing upstairs.
Oh, these aren't mushrooms. These are eggs.
It makes a cooing noise and begins walking toward, or rolling its little tentacles towards you, glittering with its beautiful lights of reds, blues, and greens.
Elliot's going to go, oh, fuck. And he'll walk up to it, aim his shotgun right point blank at his face, and shoot it. I'm not taking any chances.
You're going to kill this baby?
Yes. It's cute. Cuter ones are always the worst.
Okay.
Not taking any chances.
All right. Well, it's point blank, so that's a +2 to your skill. Are you using buckshot or solid slug?
What was already in the gun? Because I didn't.
Most likely it was solid slug. So there's no bonus at that. It just means a shit ton of damage. So whatever your firearms with 2 points higher.
I'm gonna... Oh, okay. So it's my normal firearms because I'm a badass. Which is ranged weapons.
Yep.
Is already a 13. And I get hell of a shot, which is also gives me a +1. So I have a 14, technically. +2, so just a 16. Since it's a point blank.
Yep.
Unless this thing's super fast, I want to take like a 14.
Okay, you're gonna take the 14?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I get 16. And,
yeah. All right. So it moves forward. The priest is in shock. The thing makes a cooing noise and raises up to show that the end of its tiny little adorable tentacles do pop open to show little spiky claw things that look like vicious cat talons.
Yeah.
You let loose with your one-liner of, oh, hell no, and you blow it away. Yeah. Let's see. The thing's body is probably 2. And the shotgun with solid slug does 17 dice worth of damage. So 2 versus 17, boom, you put a hole through it. The noise is loud, and all of the other ones now pay attention and begin flashing reds and blues. Reds and blues. The thing bounces once or twice, hits the ground, kind of starts to shimmy up, but then begins making like a clicking noise, and then goes boom and explodes like a grenade. Chunks of flesh fly in all directions, and the percussion is enough to throw water up.
Weird. Okay.
The rest of them all start to make the same harmonics, and then focusing on you.
Back up!
You noticed right before it popped, it started flashing bright red and bright white. They all start taking on the same bright red and bright white coloration.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna do my best to back the fuck up away from them, because I don't want to be exploded.
Alright. You're in a room, there's a puddle where you're at, you fell through the ceiling. These things are all off into, we'll say, from where you fell and stood up. They would be off to the right-hand side. The priest is also to the right-hand side as well. To the left-hand side, there's vegetation. The room continues on farther away from here, and you have your flashlight. You can attempt to climb maybe up, move over into the vegetation to get away from them, so they have to cross through the water. Maybe the water will slow them down. Or you can run the length of the water, because it's only like 4 inches deep, and try to just outpace them by getting away from them. But you're going to have to drag the priest along. They're not fast. They're not like incredibly fast, but they're not slow either. They have probably about the pace of a puppy.
Okay.
Adorable
They can catch
little
up to, like,
exploding puppies.
Yeah, I love them. If I ran, what would I have to roll? Curious.
Running? There's no running. It's mostly about making sure you don't fall over because you're running in the dark with a flashlight.
Well, yeah. So, acrobatics, maybe?
Yeah. That's right. Puppy boom.
All right. I'm going to pick up... I'm not going to pick up, but I'm going to drag the priest across the water and head straight. And I will take... Because my athletics is a 7. I will take... the 7 and hope to God that I am okay.
Now, are you full sprint running, or are you just kind of trying to jog and keep in front of them?
I would say full sprint running.
Okay, it's going to be hard with the priest, but you can do it. And 7 is not going to be enough.
That's okay.
You struggle with the priest, and at some point, he trips and stumbles, and you lose him.
Do I get his gun?
What?
Do I get his gun?
No.
Doesn't matter. It was
No.
It was one shot.
And as you run away from him, you get away, but you see these things run up. They jump out. They land on him. Their claws dig in. Their flashing lights immediately go red, white, and then boom, pop, 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 pop. About 4 or 5 of them latch on, and like tiny, self-destructing little missiles, they blow the priest into chunks.
Oh, no. Well, he was gonna die anyway. I tried.
Swarm his body. They don't seem to be eating, they just swarm it, pop a few more times, and then stop, as if their pure function was that.
Are they done then? Am I like at the entrance?
You're getting away because you're getting away now.
Great.
As you get to the end of the puddle, there's more vegetation. You find what looks to be a Remind me, stalactite, stalagmite,
stalactites, stalagmites.
Right. So it's a stalagmite that goes up, and it's covered with like thick cactus-like vegetation, nodule-like cactuses with like soft, burry-looking fur all over it. And so you're able to climb up, or you can continue to go down.
To be safe, I want to climb up, because that's where I was pushed.
Okay.
I would imagine, you know.
At this point, at the end of this action, you can hear gunfire.
In which direction?
Up.
I'm heading up.
All right. You begin climbing up, and as you get past this level, you're climbing through what would best be described as some sort of flow tube where water has poured and made an opening and shifted sediment. And so as you begin climbing, and you're clutching in, and you're pulling yourself up, at some point you realize it's getting brighter. Not like, oh, hey, I'm getting near a flashlight or something, but you're pulling yourself up into a section of cavern where sunlight is coming in.
Another one? Or
yes.
The same? Okay.
You don't know, but then you look at your watch, and it is 8:18 at night.
Yeah, it's late. We came here around dinner. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep heading that direction.
You pull yourself up onto a landing. There's a collection of some sort of bones nearby, a lot of plant matter and whatnot, and you can definitely see light coming in from outside. Skies, maybe those look like mountains. That's a rather large opening.
In the cave? Wait.
You're in the cave, and you're looking in an opening. You're looking out an opening in the cave to outside.
Okay. Alright. Fuck, we must be really high up and or really low? Is it like I'm looking up?
Yeah, you're looking slightly up.
Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, start tracking or trying to decide where that gunshot was and start heading that way.
Awareness.
I'm not good at awareness.
You get a +1 because it's loud and echoey in here.
That's
it
a
wasn't
6.
echoey.
Okay. So I'm in this cave, right?
Yeah.
Which are there entrances? I know that there's the thing outside that I can see mountains and stuff.
There's plants, some sort of dead animal over into your left-hand side. In front of you, the place where you pulled yourself up to kind of slopes back down into a larger room that stretches off to your left-hand side. To your immediate left is the large column or pillar that is like part of the main supports for this room. And so this is what you were climbing up, and there's vegetation everywhere. And a breeze. You can feel air moving through this room. So to your immediate left, there's a wall. To your right, it's an opening, and it kind of fills in this room some with more vegetation and whatnot.
If I heard it and it was loud, and there's no entrance or opening or anything like that, which way do I feel the breeze coming from?
To the left.
I'm gonna start heading to the left and seeing what I can find.
As you come down this bit, it's a little bit of a slope, and as you get past this like center bit, you feel the whole thing is turning around, and you realize that you see a rock formation that seems almost alit with light, and you realize that that glowing phosphorus material that you saw was actually just pure sunlight hitting that rock structure. And so the light that's coming through the hole in the top of this cave, shining down on those rocks, are the same rocks out on the other side where you were looking up at, and that's where the sound of gunfire is coming from.
Huh, okay.
The cave is a bit more expansive and continues on past this. You can try to find a way down, or you can try to, step out of the cave and see where you guys are at.
I wanted to find my team. So, okay. I might be picturing this differently.
Sure.
I get.
It's all theater of the mind right now, and that can be hard sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm also like, it's. So. I'm standing where the breeze came in. There's sunlight bouncing off of rocks.
Yes. And it's illuminating that rock, and so basically the light is reflecting that light, and creating
Into
that
room.
glow.
Where's that light coming from?
The opening of the cave that goes outside.
I would like to go there.
All right. Make a composure check.
Oh. I'm so good at composure. I am one steeled person. Alright, I have a 10 to my composure.
Awesome.
I'm gonna take an 8.
You're gonna take an 8, because I was gonna give you a penalty.
For what?
When you... Come on, camera. Come on, camera. You can do this. Or not. I don't know. There we go.
There it goes!
Now I stop trying, and it fixes itself. You pull yourself, you run across the distance. You can't hear any more gunfire, but you can definitely hear the thing shuffling around. You make your way across this like little dip and then back up to the other side to the opening of the cave to get a look around and see what's going on. As you get there, you begin panning across what looks to be a mountainous terrain, forests, and then your heart stops. It begins gut-wrenching. On the horizon, in the sky, there is a moon that has a ring next to another moon.
The fuck?
Your brain isn't functioning. You stare at it for a minute. You see a landscape. You see something that looks like an elephant moving through the trees. These trees don't look normal. They look like giant, weird cactuses. Your stomach begins feeling very, very uneasy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that if I failed my composure, because I would imagine that even at this point, a steeled person that has seen blood and carnage, something like this is more of like a, the fuck? Like, it is definitely more of like, please tell me that there are spores in the air and I'm hallucinating right now. If I look behind me. Is the cave still there?
Yes.
Okay. If I open up my phone, do I have signal?
No. You pull your phone out, you realize your hand's just shaking, and you hear Joe yelling, "Come this way, get over here!" And you hear,
oh god, I perk up. I perk up. Where is she? Where did I hear the voice?
back down into the cave. So you run back. Are you heading there?
Yes.
All right. You run back down into the cave. You crisscross, and you come to that like this rock formation that just is only so wide. And as you push yourself, all right, camera, you're pissing me off here. As you push yourself through that opening, you can see into the large, open, purple garden area. And you can see the spray fire coming from the AR-15. And the creature is heading toward Joe. And as it moves in that direction, you can see that Joe is distracting it as it seemed to have found Garrett. And Garrett is now running. He doesn't know where he's running. All you can see is he's running away from the creature. What would you like to do?
Which way is Garrett running?
Kind of toward the hole you fell in.
Okay, fuck. Okay, where else? Where else is there an opening? Is it just like the place where I just came from? The hole that Garrett's running towards? Are those
That's
the only
where,
two?
yeah, that's where you fell in. There's also, you're on top of a stalagmite. Technically, it's a stalagmite.
Ooh. How weak does it look?
Kind of weak. I mean, this doesn't look like the path the creature would take to come this way.
Yeah. I want to try distracting it. I want to start heading back towards where I just came from, if I can. And I'll, like, make a high-pitched whistle, and I'll even, like, pull out my, my handgun and pop a few rounds at its side, just to get its attention. And hopefully it'll come towards me.
Alright.
I'll even make up the whole thing of, like, hey! Could have got me in that car, but you didn't! Like... I'm still alive, motherfucker!
Alright, so how are you going to draw its attention as Joe is spray firing into it with her AR-15? How is your yelling going to get its attention?
Well, like I said, if I pop a few rounds, even if it's in the side of its head.
Well, you've seen the pictures, you know what it looks like. And if anybody hasn't seen the pictures, Joe, check out our social media. I hired an artist called Tom Tar. That's what his handle is. He drew the picture for us. It's a really nice picture. So you can see that the top of it is very bulbous with large black eyes, and it comes down to a collection of tentacles that have specialized grapplers on the bottom.
Yeah, I'd like to shoot it in one of its eyes, please.
Okay. It's a fast-moving object, so you'll get a penalty of 1. But the eye is large on it, so I won't give any bonuses, but I also won't give any penalties.
That's fine. I'm gonna take a 9.
Okay, what is your firearms?
13 with the -1.
So you'll get you'll make it by 4. Okay. It's very aware of your presence, and so it can actually detect high-speed projectiles coming toward it.
Yep.
And it's gonna be. So I have to pick a number for its dodge. And looking at the pool, it wants to make sure that it can get out of the way. Because it's got to protect its sensitive parts.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Its dodge. Its dodge is an 11. You beat it by 4. It'd have to take a 9 as well, but then that's not going to be enough. It'd have to take a 5.
Are you gonna take a 5?
He's going to take a 5.
That dick.
So as you pull the gun out, make some noise, and start firing, it immediately jumps away from Joe, and gets just like veers back toward the tunnel that you guys came from, which Joe grenaded.
Okay, how is he gonna get through that? He was just cornering himself, right?
That's pretty much what it did. It just pulled itself up to that section to get away from you shooting at it. So it's like pulled itself away. It hasn't got away. It just pulled itself away. Garrett is now running towards you.
That's fine. I'll even move up so Garrett's behind me.
Okay. Joe
and-
yells, "What did you do?"
And yeah, Elliot's just gonna motion and look, point at the eyes and goes, "Shoot at the eyes!" That's what I've been saying.
Joe will take an 11 and open fire into its eyes.
I'm gonna take a 5 and shoot it in its fucking face.
All right. Garrett, on the other hand, will start climbing.
Go ahead, Garrett. Poor Garrett.
It's going to take a 9 to dodge both your attacks. You've got a 5, and Joe picked a... What did Joe pick for Joe? 10?
6?
No, it was a double digit.
Then it was a 10. It was either
10.
6 or a 10.
So Joe
I don't
beat
know
by
where I got
4.
6, but...
He got a 9, so it's a 12. So both the AR-15 and your shots to the head, the eyeballs, are going to hit.
Sweet.
A pistol does 9 dice. The creature's body is 12. It still doesn't want to get hit in the eyes because the eye's body is always half because it's a sensitive spot. So that's 6. Joe, on the other hand, spray fires into its face, and the thing, this Joe's spray fire is 28 dice versus its 6.
What? Wait a minute, hold on. Wait, I aimed for its face and I hit its body?
Eyes. It doesn't have a face, it just has eyes on the top
Well,
of its
yeah,
head.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean, you're right. I'm sorry if I said wrong words.
Sorry. But I'm just confused. I hit its body even with my 5 out of 13?
No, you hit its eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I must have Okay. Continue. I must have did not hear you or something.
Okay. No, you hit. Both of you guys hit really well. All right, so you've got 3 dice for damage, and Joe's got 22.
Okay. Why do I have 3 dice for damage? I feel like I should have a lot more.
Because you're firing a pistol at an armored target.
And your points! Well, I also have quick reload. I ain't got time for this shit. That's what my skill's called.
Cool. Alright.
So after I put all my rounds into it, I'm gonna fucking reload.
What did you get on your 3 dice?
Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't rolled. Is that just 3d6?
Just 3d6.
Jesus, 77? 8.
Well, no, it's just 5, so...
Oh.
Alright. Joe plows into the thing and begins devastatingly putting holes through it. And it's vicious. The thing screams, and your shots ring into it as well. It slinks, it slumps off to one side, and then begins reaching its tentacles and shooting them into the hole that you fell in and pulling it through and escaping.
How fast is that action?
Pretty fast. Not as
Right.
fast as I would like it to be.
Can I run over to, not the front of it, because I don't want to get plowed by this thing, but
You
just
have to climb
behind it?
down the stalagmite.
Is there a stalagmite above it? Please let there be one. Please let there be one. Just let there be one. It's
Alright,
gonna
which
be
one?
epic. Because I'm gonna take the 9 anyway. I'll take my shotgun, and I'll shoot this, like, just the base of the stalagmite, because I have nothing else That's powerful enough to shoot down a stalagmite or stalactite.
Sure. All right, so you're gonna take the 9 for that.
Yeah, out of a
Awesome.
13 because I'm at a. Am I at a -1? Because if I still am, it's a 13. If not, that's a 14.
No, you're not at a -1.
13. Do I get a +1 or +2? I got a +1. So yeah, 14 on the
Nice.
shot.
Yeah.
With
You
the 9,
blast
so.
the stalactite, and it falls down on top of the creature as it goes into the hole.
Great. Did it scream?
Yes, it was making some squelchy noises.
Alright. I'm gonna climb down and immediately put my flashlight and gun so I can look down the hole and see if it's either dead or if I hit it or if it's slinking off.
I mean, it's got 2 left, so I'm gonna say it's slinking off. Of the 16, you guys have done 14. Joe's done a lot of damage.
Yeah, she's done the majority.
Because she's got the high-powered, armored-piercing, I'm not going to take any shit kind of weapons.
I'm gonna... Elliot's not gonna care. He's gonna hop down. He'll hop down and chase after this thing.
Garrett's going to stop you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
He's on the run. He's injured. We gotta kill him.
Where's the priest?
He's dead. What do you suggest? Just
we
leave?
get out of here.
Why?
We can, I don't know, blow the cave. Joe's got enough explosives for that, right?
That's not ending it. That's just covering it up. That's like not cleaning a room and shoving everything under your bed. There's
All right.
more to this. I'm gonna try something. I'm going to walk over and pull up my lighter and see if these plants are flammable.
No.
They're not?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't think of anything that makes them flammable. Other than if they were dead and dried, because they're just plants.
But still, they're plants. They'll still burn, right?
Yeah,
Unless they're
no gasoline, anything will burn.
Yeah. He'll look over to Joe then. Do you have anything on the back of your vehicle that has a crazy amount of gasoline other than your vehicle?
She's like, yeah, we can bring a gas can in here.
We would have to do it fast.
It's gonna take a while
Underground's
to get
all
out.
vine on all vegetation. It's not just vegetation. That thing isn't a thing. It's a she. It has babies down there. It has eggs.
Joe reaches behind her vestment and pulls out a stick of dynamite.
I mean, that'll work, but there were caves down there. If we burn this thing, the fire will spread. It's not
Yeah.
just that. It's fucking look behind me. And he points to where he just came from.
Garrett, they all they can see is that you were up there and it's really bright. They can't see the opening. You either have to climb the stalagmite or walk around the entire way to get back to where you were at.
Yeah, Elliot just keeps going on. It's just like he's like, I'm not crazy. There was a moon had a fucking ring around it. There were elephants, for Christ's sake.
We should go. You're not okay.
I am okay.
You're
And he like
taking this
moves
way
Garrett
too
off of
far.
him.
You're hallucinating, Garrett
I'm
says.
not. Go fucking climb it yourself.
Joe says, I'm not going to light this stick until we're out of here. That thing's getting away. It's getting away. We either get out now, or actually, no, Joe's not going to say any of that shit. No, fuck that. Joe's just like, all right, fine, let's go see this shit. Let's see how crazy you really are. And so the three of you will climb up the stalagmite to the little clearing, and then you point at the opening in the cave. There's actually a lot more light coming in now. It's not becoming nighttime, whatever. It's becoming daytime.
So is it still there when we get up there?
Yeah. You walk over to the entrance. You know what you're looking for, so as you start to crest the opening, you're seeing it. Wide-eyed, your heart begins pounding, your stomach is just gone. Everything is incredibly tense. Your core muscles have tensed up as you begin looking around. No more than about 40 to 50 meters away, one of those elephant things are chewing on a nearby tree, and it looks like a giraffe and an elephant had a baby.
God.
And
yeah, Elliot's just gonna have to be like, see? I'm not crazy.
Joe begins looking around. She'll stop and she'll pull off her glasses as she's staring about. I'll be damned. Klaus is just like, what's going on? What's going on?
You got me there.
This doesn't make any sense. Tell me what this means. You can see he's looking at you. Tell me what this means.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. All right, I don't know. Any logical reasoning doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Joe kind of chuckles and pulls out her cell phone and begins looking at not a bar of signal. Huh. She looks to you guys. This is really amazing. We can't blow the cave now.
The fuck are you talking about?
Did you imagine how much value this has?
Value? Are you fucking serious? That thing could be from here. That thing killed... He starts counting on his hand. A lot of people. It killed a lot of people.
But now we're here. And we're gonna do what all humans do really well.
What, take over? You were
gives
just saying about how beautiful it was nature was taking over things. Leave this place alone.
She looks at you. We killed it, right? It's gonna die.
It might. We don't know. That thing could have, I don't know, healing properties or something.
Everything heals. It's just how fast does it heal? Besides, you said there were babies down there, so we didn't end its species.
That's why I'm saying let's burn this fucking place. Not this place, but, you know, the cave. We can shut this door up if we want to.
I don't think we should shut this up. Look at it. This is amazing. This is a find. Every resource here is untapped. It's just wildlife. This is a whole new world. This is great opportunities for us, and we know about it.
Like what?
Who knows? Garrett is just like staring in awe, like in weirdness. He's checking out his phone and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Joe starts making a weird chirp noise. Not her herself, but a weird chirp noise comes from her.
Huh.
She stops and reaches down and pulls off a little radio off of her belt. It's a multi-channel radio that she carries. And it makes a chirp noise. Not just like chirp, but more like chirp, 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 chirp. Not any particular pattern, but definitely interesting rhythms of chirping.
So, how far does that radio go?
She goes, a couple of miles.
Does it normally do that?
She goes, no, this is a signal coming through on my frequency.
Ellie just goes, nuh-uh, no. This is how all fucking alien things happen. I'm not, as much as I believe aliens exist, I am not gonna get into this shit. We are leaving.
Joe looks at you and says, we'll leave. We'll barricade the mine up. and we'll come back later. I know people who will be interested in this.
Fucking the government's gonna be into this.
She gives a nod.
If this is, yeah, okay. Woo! We found a new land. But who the fuck cares right now? All I care about is getting my ass back to Washington.
Joe gives a nod. All right, well, let's get you home. Joe is as cool as she possibly can be. She puts her glasses back on, pulls her phone out. Click, click. Click, click. Click, click.
Elliot at this point just sits down and puts his head in his hands.
Garrett's now leaning against one of the openings of the cave, and he's just shaking his head. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this. Yeah, you know what?
Panorama mode.
Panorama mode.
I was thinking of taking photos. It's just, Elliot's gotta get to his senses first.
All right, it takes a moment. She does a panorama. You come to your senses. I mean, come on. At what point do you finally realize I'm on another planet?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, he'll record it because, I mean, he's got to have proof that he's not insane when he tries to getting his job back.
Yeah. You gotta be able to prove to the government that you didn't just drag some old priest into the woods and kill him with hand grenades.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot's even going to mention, like, okay, well, if we go through this, we need to document it and everything. Because the thing is, if Garrett and I want to keep our jobs, we're going to need proof. And this is enough proof, but it's fucking insane.
Joe smiles. Good. I'm glad that we can at least see that there's a value to this above and beyond.
I just want that thing dead.
She gives a nod, and I understand, and it'll die, and we'll kill it, and any other of them that come around. And if you want to kill its babies, we'll kill its babies too. And she just gives like this very cold, assertive nod. And then things go sideways. Her radio makes a chirping noise, but a bit of different tone and pitch. Chirp, 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 chirp. And then the first chirping begins getting frantic, high-pitched. The other one comes back, chirping slow and smooth and calmly, almost as if a reassuring tone. Like two things talking.
Yeah, exactly. Elliot just goes, they're talking to each other. And he's like pointing at the radio. Because whatever those things are, they know something.
Joe perks up and says, that's a distress call. It's calling for help. It's calling, and you know, keeps the radio, turns it up a little bit higher.
What, are you now fucking alien expert?
I know what a distress signal's like. And she pulls her clip out,
Okay.
puts it away, grabs a fresh clip that's... loads it in.
What the fuck you do? Elliot's just watching her do this. What are you planning on rescuing some random aliens?
No, I'm getting out of here. If it's calling for backup, we're in trouble. We have to go blow the cave now.
Alright, lead the way. And Elliot will move to Garrett and kind of like pull him away from the site.
Okay. Alright. You get into the entrance and be going down.
I'm gonna still record this, by the way.
You put like your camera in or something.
Yeah, I'll put it in like I'm basically wearing a button up. Like, that's the thing. Elliot's wearing a button up right now that looks probably terrible, but like he'll put his phone in his pocket or something. Make sure it's there.
Right.
Have one hand on it.
Alright. So, you guys head down into the cave. You begin making a loop around because now you can see that there is a loop around because the light's now brighter as wherever you're at, the sun is coming up.
Yeah.
As you're heading down in that direction, which is to the right. So you come in and you begin going to the right. To the left, you see about 3 of those baby ones crest over the edge and see you guys. and begin making their little chirping noises.
I think immediately Elliot's gonna go, if they start flashing red and white, they explode. That's how the priest died.
Okay. They seem to be heading in your direction, and Joe's radio could hear them going bloop, 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 making a bloop noise. And their blooping noise pulsates with the light they make.
Oh my god. Elliot just kind of, he goes, the distress calls for that thing. Because we were shooting it. That's the only explanation.
Joe, at this point in time, is picking up the pace. We need to go. And so you head down in this big loop. And as you're getting around the loop, and you're getting down in there where you're starting to need to use your flashlights, the light from the cave opening disappears. And you can hear something very loud outside. What would you like to do?
I mean, are we still moving?
Yeah, you're still moving. You have an option to bank off to the one side passage that the thing used to loop around, which is probably the fastest way out, or find a hiding place and see what the fuck just happened.
I'm not gonna make that stealth roll.
Joe would make a stealth roll.
Good for her. I just, the thing is, I've already failed my stealth roll that got me in trouble. If these things, whatever they may be, I'm dead. Unless she can hide me. But I'm gonna fail that stealth roll. And I mean, I feel like Garrett would too.
So what do you want to do?
I say book it.
Book it?
Yeah.
Right. The three of you turn toward the tunnel and begin running. Lights out, you begin descending as quickly as possible. The amount of vegetation begins diminishing as you're running down this cave tunnel, hoping that at the other end, you come out in Pennsylvania. Hoping. As you've gotten farther down and you're about to meet back up with the rest of the tunnel, exhaustion is starting to pick up hard now. It's been a while since you've had a little bit of water. It's been a while since you've had a moment of rest. You've been going. And the vegetation hasn't lightened up as much as you thought it would. When you get to the base of the intersection where you think you know where you're at, you take a moment and pull out the map. Quietly, you move off to one side and start trying to figure things out. Joe says we should be close to where we can dynamite and close off the opening. If we can stop whatever is going on, because this is one of those Star Trek things, we can keep them out of our world.
Perfect. That sounds wonderful.
She says, I think here would be a good spot to lay some dynamite. Go ahead and take off a 10 as she makes an estimate for destroying the cave.
What? You want us to...
Take one of the 10s off. She's using that for her demolition skill.
Okay.
So that she knows where to place the explosives.
I'll follow her lead.
All right. You guys gather the 2 sticks that she has, tape them together, begin wedging them into the rocks, looking at the map and whatnot and checking it. You run a bit of cord, and you light it. The fuse begins to burn. You guys pull back around the corner. The sound of thunder begins getting louder in the distance. Something's coming. What do you want to do?
We're near the exit.
You have no idea. No. As far
We're
as
just
it goes,
blowing
you still
this
have,
part up.
You're blowing this part up to put a cave in so that things can't follow you. But now it sounds like something's following you.
I say we keep moving.
All right, so you're not going to hang around to see if the explosion goes off or anything. You're just going to... It's just like, fuck it, we got to go. Right?
Well, I mean, I also don't want to be caught in the explosion.
You have a... I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are running. following the map, Joe is now hustling to keep you guys moving as much as possible. Because whatever was coming sounded really loud.
Yeah.
You run, and at least 30 to 40 seconds of running, the anticipation is almost killing you, but nothing. 1 whole minute of running, you stop, you're slowing down, and there was no bang.
Great.
At all.
Great. Is that thundering still following us?
No.
Okay. Elliot just kind of, I don't know, he keeps up with them, but he clearly states that, like, that thing should have gone off by now.
Joe nods. If they're smart enough to send a distress signal, they're smart enough to defuse sticks of dynamite.
Oh, fuck it! I mean, at this point, let's just get the fuck out of here. We can blow this place up later.
She nods. Yeah, totally. We can blow this place up later. I don't know what's going on or what's behind us, but I'm not going back either. Following through the course of the map, keeping up the speed with each other, trying to stay together as much as possible. Whatever was behind you, at some point you hear it again, and so you know it's in the tunnels with you still. But it's not as active, loud, or quick. Now more like, as Joe describes it, it's lurking. As you guys weave quietly through the tunnels, using the map, your dim lights, to get back to the surface. And you want to make sure your lights are as dim as possible.
Yeah.
So as they can't be seen. So, when you get to the... Oh, that's just... Will that help? Will that help? Man, my camera is like struggling with this.
Yeah.
There we go.
You gotta get like, I don't know, like a lamp that you can, you have that like dial where you can like turn it.
I have a lamp right here.
Yay, there you go.
Hi everybody. So like I said, it's thundering behind you. You guys are heading out, and it's stalking, as Joe described it. It's creeping up on you guys. Joe says, we need to start working toward hiding and trying to get it to bypass us. We're not going to outrun it. So Joe's going to take a 10 and go hide. Because she wants to live.
I get it. Elliot, Elliot will help Garrett hide.
Okay.
And I will give Garrett the 10.
Okay.
I'll take the 11.
All right. Garrett beats it by 3. Cool, because he's got an 8. And, of course, Joe's beating hers by 5.
Good for her.
How much?
I have
how well you
7 out of 11.
You got a 7? So you missed yours by
That's
4.
my stealth. That's my stealth.
Wow.
I was telling you, I was like, I'm booking it. I can't stealth. Are you fucking kidding me?
So here's how this all works. Okay. You guys are traveling. Joe's like, we need to hide. And she's like, good luck. And that's really what she says.
Pretty much, I mean, if...
At this point in time, she's like, meet back at the Jeep if you can get there. And she breaks
I might
off.
as well just sprint. Like, that's
She
even
doesn't.
what I was seriously debating is, like, I'm gonna be fucking dead either way. I mean, even Elliot's gonna be like, I am not good at hiding. Like, you guys can hide all you want, but I have to book it. Like, I'll hide, but I'm dead anyway because I can't have another choice.
You push Garrett behind some rocks and begin hauling ass.
Sure.
As you come out from the behind where they're going, you're the distraction.
Yeah.
As you run out, you look over and you see this thing. It's covered with dragon-like scales, thick, scaled armor. Its tentacles are like rolled up and covered with huge, punching-like meat things. It looks so different. As you run out from behind cover and it shuffles to meet you, it stands on top of these 4 powerful-looking limbs. From underneath it, a section of torso or bunches up like an eyeball opening, and you see these tiny little adorable versions of the other one you saw drop out of it, hit the ground, and begin running towards you at high
Gross.
speeds.
When it gets close, I want to shotgun it in its face.
All right, roll the hit. Which one are you going to use?
I'll take the 12.
All right, that will definitely hit them. Close range, you get a +1 because it's the shotgun.
Yeah, because my normal is 14, so that's a 15. It's 15 out of 12.
You blow a chunk out of it, and it skitters back, and then begins squealing, and then detonates.
Oh god. Okay.
All right. On its turn, the next one flies towards you, as well as the other one. They leap.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 attack numbers left.
Yeah.
15, which receives the other barrel of your shotgun,
Sure.
and 18, which goes flying right past you.
Oh my god. I'm like struggling to keep Elliot alive.
You are doing a really great job.
Thanks.
And now it's time to reset the list. I'm enjoying this list of numbers. It's kind of fun the way this works out. It's a bit gut-wrenching, too.
It's alright, it's just... There are certain parts where I'm guaranteed to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And it's that to me is not... I'm not happy about that. I'll be fucking honest. I am not happy about that.
Oh, Ace, it's got you an 8.
That's fine. 5, 10, and 15. 13. And another 15?
Yep.
Okay. That's 3. Go ahead and roll.
All right. Uh, 10.
Okay.
11.
Uh-huh.
8. And 11.
Nice.
The last 5 are yours.
Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a 7, 12, 6, 14, and an 8.
Nice.
Come on. There we go. 14. I should have done this in order. That's okay. 12. 6, 7, 8. Okay. Those are our numbers.
Awesome. Let me fix that. It's crooked. There we go. All right. The last one leaps past you. It explodes behind you. The one that you shot with the second barrel lands onto the ground nearby. This car-paced demon Yeah, I like that. I'll have to remember that. It seems like it wants to do round 2. What do you want to do?
Am I outside yet?
No, but you're gonna start running? Because you, like, stopped to shoot at them as they came at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to. I'm gonna run out of bullets if I just stand here.
Alright, so you turn and continue heading in the direction in which outside is.
Yeah, and I think just adrenaline's gonna be controlling him at this point.
Alright. Jo is going to use her skill of stealth to keep herself and maybe Garrett alive and get them outside.
I hope so.
I hope so
Okay.
too.
I hope so. So much.
You're gonna need to make athletics.
I'm not good at the athletics. I'm gonna take the 7 because then it'll be 7 out of 7.
All right.
Bug, fuck off. Jesus.
I sent that bug there specifically to annoy you. You are exhausted by the time the cool air from Pennsylvania hits your face. It is nighttime, and you've got a light, and you're running, and you notice the sounds of crickets. This thing is following you, and so you are coming out, not because you don't have the map. Jo and
Yeah.
Garrett have the map. You're just trying to get a way out, and you do. You find as you're running, you can hear crickets, and you can hear you can feel the cool air of Pennsylvania. You know, so as you're running along, you come in this section of the cave, and it immediately becomes brickwork.
Oh.
And you're looking around, and you're like some sort of unloading station.
Okay, probably for the mining facility. Cool.
But you're exhausted at this point in time.
What is in this area?
Mining carts, old railroad ties, some piping on the walls and whatnot. Dimly lit, by the way, dimly lit looking, not dimly lit, but lamps. Words. Lamps. Unused lamps nearby. Oil lamps. Signs, pieces of wood, handles to old tools.
This thing that's chasing me is scaly, right?
Yes, but you also know that you've moved into tunnels that are a lot smaller than it, so most likely it can't come this way unless it sends one of its babies after you.
I'm gonna hide in one of the carts. Since
Okay.
I have 7 of my stealth. I'm not a stealthy boy. I'm gonna take the 5. I want to
Alright.
live.
Well, that means that it doesn't have a 5.
No.
As you hide in the cart, taking a breather, trying to breathe as softly as possible, as shallow as possible, the brickwork of the ceiling nearby begins being illuminated with yellow and blue colors, alternating. Yellow, blue, yellow. Whatever is flashing this light has entered the cave area with you. It moves around. You see its beautiful lights moving across the ceiling. And then they leave the area back the way they came.
I'm going to stay there for a while. And after, I don't know, minutes or maybe longer than minutes pass, even if it's like up to 20 minutes or so, then Elliot's going to perk up carefully and look
Okay.
around.
It's pretty dark down here. Barely see anything. You don't have a light on. But the good news is you don't see any lights moving around.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that they can be off, though. Do I hear anything at all?
No. Not even the dripping of water. I'm pretty sure we're long past that. I'll have to remember to put some creaking wood in there somewhere.
Yeah, you should have some crickets.
I do have crickets. I have cicadas.
Yeah, there you go. That was awkward. My camera just flashed for some reason. I'm going to... Or rather, Elliot's going to... Actually, he's just gonna... He's sitting up in this minecart, and he's just gonna slowly lace back down. And he's gonna stay there until he sees something or hears something, or hopefully sunlight comes through this brick area. But he's just gonna wait. I'm not gonna leave my friends behind. They have to come through here and or another area.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna give it 30 minutes.
Okay, that's a lot of resting time.
Yeah.
A good 30 minutes pass.
Nothing?
Nothing.
I'm gonna get up, turn on my flashlight.
Okay.
And immediately start heading the way that I was running to.
Back out into the tunnels, trying to find a way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to find a way out.
You're close. You've got to be. So it's just an awareness roll.
Okay.
An awareness. So pick a number.
My awareness is an 11. I'm gonna pick a 8. No, I'm gonna pick a 10.
You're gonna pick a 10.
Yeah.
You head back into the tunnels. You make a few turns, start guessing where you're at, and it pays off. You come into the production facility. Large buildings on either side of the opening, which the stairs. So you're walking up like a flight of stairs. Big production furnaces on either side in which this material would be tossed into to be cooked into a usable material of coke. And you can see the large doors on the other side of this room that you're coming into. They're shot, but not perfectly shot, so you can see a bit of the nighttime light coming through, and so you're shining your flashlight around, you see the doors. You don't hear anything other than the noises that, cicadas and owls and...
I'm still gonna move very silently.
Okay.
But my main priority is seeing the Jeep to see if it's still there. Which Elliot's basically just telling himself, don't be there. Please don't be there.
Okay. As you are creeping over toward the door to get to where the Jeep is, you see motion out of the side of your eye, off the right-hand side. And as you turn and slightly look, you see a small, blonde-haired girl in a white dress picking up what seems to be some trash on the ground and looking at it. And then she puts it down. She picks up something else and begins looking at it.
It doesn't notice me right away? Is the Jeep there? Or do I have to get past it?
The Jeep is outside the building. You have yet to even make it to the door.
I have yet to even see it?
Yep.
Okay.
You're inside the production facility.
I'm thinking of the most stupidest idea ever. But I also know what she has done. So, I'll stealth with my 7 and take a 6.
Okay. Try to get past her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if I have to, I don't know, there's a rusty whatever nearby, and I just chuck it over into a far off distance. So it makes a clang clang, and she has to go over there.
Oh yeah, she does. She like hoists herself up and begins dragging across the ground over to where that was at.
Elliot's just kind of like his whole like watching her go.
And you can see that tiniest of thin tendril that reaches off into the darkness and down a tunnel. And you know what that's attached to.
Yeah.
It goes to investigate the noise. What do you want to do?
Wait a minute. Back up, if I may.
Yeah.
This thing's attached to that giant thing, right?
Yeah.
Does she look injured at all?
No.
I guess I'll sneak past her.
Uh-huh.
Just to see what the Jeep is. What's the Jeep status?
What Jeep status? There's no Jeep out there.
Oh, thank God. I would like to stealth up behind her, go with my shotgun, point it to the back of her head, and shoot her.
Okay.
Please. Fuck this thing.
Yeah, sure. Point blank range.
Yeah.
Bonus for that.
I'll take an 8. I'll take one of the lower
attacking
ones.
it from behind.
Yep. So that's a 13 from an 8 with my +2, so it's a 15 or 14 or whatever.
Goodness. There we go. Now it's nice and bright in here, so it's like it won't stop unfocusing and shit. Gosh, that appendage doesn't have that much hit points. So, point blank, shotgun. That's 22. It's only got 6, so yeah, 16, at least half. All right, so you blow a chunk of the girl thing head off.
Cool.
And the trunk that's left behind begins spitting blood and screaming.
Great.
Pulling
I'm
it away
gonna start
from
booking
you.
it down the road.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna start booking it down the road.
Okay.
Unless if it moves back, I'll sprint. If it starts moving towards me, I'll wait. I'll wait for this fucking thing. I know he's injured. If it's the same one, I know he's injured. But no, Elliot's smart. He's gonna book it.
You're gonna book it. Okay. All right.
I want him to live.
You want him to live? Well, I don't. Alright. See, now it's even doing it with the bright light, so the light doesn't matter. The camera's just like, I'm fucking tired.
My camera's doing just fine.
I know. So is your internet.
Yeah, don't knock on wood. Don't
All right.
jinx it.
You bust out of the production facility and begin running across the courtyard. As you get across the courtyard and whatnot, you can see a blonde-haired girl wearing a white dress looking into the inside of one of the cars. She has ripped open the back of the trunk, and she's looking into the trunk.
Is she normal?
No.
Yeah, I want to stealth away from that bitch.
Alright. As you begin stealthing away from the... because it's more toward the office, and so you're breaking away from there, heading, and you're going to be passing by the storage facilities. You can see that there's another one, and she's walking and looking at the trails of the road. 2 of them. Neither of them have gunshot wounds to the head.
That's good. And bad at the same time. I think we're safe to assume that my flashlight's off, right?
Yes.
How? My phone's still recording, right?
Yes.
Like if I look down? Okay, good. I'm going to immediately turn on my flashlight and chuck it into the woods. So hopefully they'll go running after it.
Alright, you're trying to distract them.
Yeah, I don't want to walk past them or run past them.
So
Stay on the road.
That would be like a bluffing attempt to a distraction of some type.
Sure. What do I have? What can I? Diplomacy?
No.
Interrogation?
No.
I don't have like bluff, straight up bluff. Oh, I do. It's a 10 or less. So yeah, I'll take an 8.
Awesome. You click on your flashlight and you hurl it into the darkness. The child monster near the mines immediately perks up at watching this, and you see a plethora of lights illuminate inside the cave, the mouth of the mine cave, and you see the large were-truck thing pull the strange girl pseudopod in and begin trucking in that direction.
Great. I'm gonna book it as silently as I can, but I'm gonna book it. I know where this bridge is. I was in the front seat of the car. I know the way back.
You do. But now there's not just one, but at least 3 of these things.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
You okay with that? All right.
I just want to get out. I just want Elliot to get out. So yeah. He's making his way back to the... Hopefully that bridge is...
The what?
Or down that bridge.
The bridge, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you won't find the bridge unless you have survival roll or some sort of navigational roll.
I'm staying on the...
You're just going to follow the road all the way down?
Yeah, I'm following the road.
Okay. As you follow the path of the winding road, I'm trying to think how you find the scene. Yeah, that's how it would have been. As you follow the path of the winding road, zip, 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 you find Joe's Jeep. This is well before the bridge. And Joe's Jeep is off the road and into the trees. Tires kind of spinning. The headlights are on.
Is it knocked over?
Yeah, upside down.
I'm gonna make my way over to see if anyone's in it.
All right. Upon gazing in, you find an unconscious, hopefully not dead, Garrett.
Unconscious or dead?
Hopefully not dead.
You cut out when you said there was a pause there. Okay, I'm going to immediately and safely pull him out. And immediately check his pulse.
I'm assuming you have some first aid training here.
Yeah, agent. I do.
Yeah. He's got a heartbeat.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, Elliot's just gonna hug him. Joe's not there?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to... Was he in the back seat?
No, he was in the front seat. Not the driver's seat, though. Passenger.
Okay, good. That would be awkward if he was in the back seat. Never mind.
The trunk area, though, is all disheveled.
Disheveled?
Yeah, messed up, opened.
Okay.
Shit's falling out. You know when you saw it, she had her shit packed in there pretty tight.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine the crash and her probably grabbing stuff. How much stuff is still there?
Well, there's an AR-15 on the ground.
As someone who is not gun savvy, because I recognize that term, but don't know what it is. What is it?
It's a terribly powerful weapon
I will grab it.
that fires lots of little bullets.
I will grab it.
Okay.
I'll grab it and put down the shotgun I was using, I guess, because I can't carry both.
Right.
Plus, I'm going to be lifting Garrett, piggybacking him, and I guess walking back to the bridge, hopefully.
Okay.
I have phone service, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna dial 911.
All right.
I'm gonna stop recording, dial 911. Or dial at least the police station or someone I know, something in the area.
Sure, 911. All right.
Oh, it's an assault rifle. Okay.
What's that?
That's right. That's why I recognize it.
Yes. You call 911.
Yeah.
You inform them. Where are you?
On the road up towards the old Coke plant.
Past Siglerville.
Past Siglerville.
What's the nature of your emergency?
That's complicated with the car turned over. Obviously, if it is just straight up 911 and he doesn't know who he's talking to, he'll go into, a federal agent, Elliot Jones, obviously middle name. I don't have a middle name for him. But,
Your phone chirps at you. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
I'll look at it while I'm
chirps at
talking
you.
to this.
Yeah, while you were talking to this person, it chirped.
I'm gonna hang up.
Okay. You can hear some noise in the trees.
I'm gonna keep moving towards the road, but keep that in mind.
Okay. The noise is getting louder.
Yeah.
Whatever
like
it is,
that.
it's just fucking skipping the road and going through the tree line.
It's going in front of me?
No, it sounds like it's coming down the hill.
Is it coming fast?
Yes.
I'm gonna start booking it as best I can. Lift
you can't while
Garrett.
carrying somebody.
I can't? Have you ever?
I mean,
I
you
guess
can.
not.
You can. It's
But
hard.
I'm gonna.
It is hard
Nah.
to carry a human being.
I know,
AR-15
and he's heavy.
and run
Yeah,
in
I'll
darkness.
continue forward then. I'll just walk. I'll just walk.
All right.
And you know what? Since as I'm putting, no, I'll keep my phone off.
Are you going to turn your phone off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that Garrett's is like dead and or smashed. So I'm not gonna reach into his back pocket while he's on my back.
I would pull it out and smash it and be like, dude, I'm sorry about your phone.
I guess that's an option.
I don't
yeah.
want to die.
Yeah, I'll pull it out and I'll put it under my boot and just crush it, and then Ellie just goes.
Pictures of my wife were in there. Why? Because I don't want to die.
You should have put it on the cloud.
Should have put it on the cloud. All right. Well, it gets close, and now it's going to try to find you with an awareness, but I'll let you stealth first since it's really loud. And
I'm gonna take the 8, but my stealth's at a 7.
7. Yep. The good news
I guess
is
the best bet I could do is I could go into
you
the
no
tree
longer
line.
have your phone on, so they no longer have bonuses to track you guys.
Oh, thank God.
You're also wandering through the darkness, and they have terrible eyesight.
Oh, thank God.
Because tonight's not a full moon. It's almost a full moon.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Everything's coming together.
But it's still going to take the 10.
That's fine.
All right. You grab Garrett. You're running. You crushed his phone. You turned off your phone. And you notice that the thing is no longer directly heading in your direction. You make it to the bridge. The bridge is still up. Or should the bridge is down.
Yeah.
You hoist Garrett back up and continue continue toward the bridge, and when you get probably about 5 to 10 feet away from the bridge, you hear behind you like a noise. I would describe it as like a squirrel, almost
Like chittering.
constipated squirrel sound, like
Okay. Constipated squirrel sound.
That's what I got going.
I can hear it though. That's the best thing. I know what it sounds like.
Yeah, because who hasn't walked by a squirrel who's just like,
I'll look.
all right. It is one of those soft pink little girls. They quickly. She is watching you from where she's at. She's at the a little distance in the tree line, and she's making that noise at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip her the bird and keep moving.
All right, you get across the bridge, and what do you want to do? Look back, keep going.
I'll look back.
She's moved a lot closer, but you cannot see what she's attached to. It's still hiding somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
You don't know how far, but you know that thing's watching you.
Can I see where the tail is coming out from her dress?
Yes.
Can I see what kind of direction it's headed in?
Yes. Awareness.
Well, I'll take an 11, but my awareness is, I think, an 8? I have a... Oh, no, it's a 10. Plus 1, so... Yeah, I have 11.
All right. Yes, you can see where the tail's coming out, and you can see where it goes into the tree line, so you have a good understanding that that clump of trees might not be a clump of trees.
Great. Is it ahead of me or behind me?
Behind you.
I'm gonna keep moving then.
Okay. You get
And
across
very,
the bridge.
very often look behind me.
She's following you.
Okay.
At some point, the little girl's just walking in the road behind you. When you look back, it makes that gawking noise.
Yeah, it's just like, you're not getting my attention under his breath. But he will keep an eye on that cluster of trees, too.
Oh, that cluster of trees is long since gone, so it's moved out of that cluster of trees, and it's got to be, like, slinking around or following behind, stealthing.
Yeah.
You make it to the Honda. You, pretty exhausted.
I'm going to... Ellie's just going to look at the car and go, another car. Not a car situation. He kind of looks back and he goes, I swear to God, if that thing picks me up again. And he opens up
and she's probably about 20 yards away.
Cool. Sorry, that image in my head is just fucking great. It's gorgeous. It's a great haunting image. Elliot's gonna open up the passenger seat, keep an eye on her, and keep an eye on that tail. And buckle in Garrett, close the door, lock it, walk over to the
She's gotten closer.
Walking over to the passenger side, opens up the car door, steps in, closes it, locks it, locks every single thing, reloads his weapons really fast.
Okay. The little girl
Takes
is now
a deep
walking. You see there's a lot of... The thing is making a lot of effort to make... Because, like, her legs just pedal as she's carried through, but it's made effort to put it close to the ground so it makes it look like she's walking, and she's heading toward the car. Now that the door's shut, she's walking up toward the car door, and she holds her hands out, and she walks up and she touches the car door and looks at you.
Oh, she's not gonna get... The thing is, that's the thing. Elliot's gonna try the car, unless it doesn't start. This is gonna happen. If it doesn't, I know this is a Honda, but he's taking off. That's the thing. He's peeling out of here.
So as she's walking up to the car, she reaches her hands out to touch the door. You're like, crank, reverse,
Yeah.
peace out.
Literally, this is what happens when he just goes, and he just drives off. Like,
You crank. All right, it's going to activate its EMP, so take off the 11.
okay.
You crank the car, you put it in reverse, flick the bird, car goes back and then dies.
Yeah, Elliot's not surprised. He's just sitting there, hands on the wheels, and he just goes like. Yeah, and then immediately I imagine he still has eyesight on this girl. He just locks all of the car doors while looking at her.
Yes. She comes up to the front of the car, puts her hands on the hood, and pulls herself up. And you can see the tail is back there, but it's pantomiming like the little girl just pulled herself up onto the hood. And so now she's staring at it, standing on the hood, and she like gently walks across the hood toward the car window. And she's like looking in. And you get the impression she can't see you in there. It's like she's looking in, like really hard at the window.
I will stay completely still and just watch her with my eyes.
She's not even looking at you. She's like looking around.
They're looking for someone or something.
You know that infrared goggles do not have clear lenses in them, right? So
Yeah.
glass actually can block certain wavelengths of light.
Oh, interesting.
Your character would be smart enough to know that.
Yeah, I'm not smart, but
No,
yeah,
that's why I'm sharing it.
Elliot is. He's a smart boy. But yeah, he'll stay perfectly still.
So basically, what this thing saw was you climbed into a completely
And disappear.
opaque box. So now it's just trying to figure out what's going on. So like touches the windows, and then it comes to one side and hovers off to the side of the car, walks up, and then you see it sees the handles, and it knew what you were doing, so it starts playing with the handles.
Mm-hmm.
And when it flicks the handle and nothing happens, you see a section of the nearby like bush and whatnot of the house not too far up the road suddenly light up, and you see the whole thing rise up as the little girl's flicking the handle and nothing's happening. Like something's clicked in its head or it's thinking something, but this is not the same one that Joe riddled full of bullets.
Yeah.
None of them are. This is a full-fledged invasion of whatever the fuck those things are. And now you're stuck in a dead car and one of them's outside.
I will wait and see what it does, but I do have my hands on this AR-15.
It plays with the handle and then moves to the passenger side, hovering to the other side. It plays with the handle there. It rocks the car. The little girl violently shakes it a whole bunch. Then it goes to the back and plays with things. Grabs the side mirrors and like moves them back and forth. A light from a nearby porch clicks on. Bright light floods into the area as some movement, for whatever reason, by a house cat has clicked it on. The girl yanks back toward the thing. Its lights dim and immediately drops down below like the horizon, so it's covered.
Does my car start back up?
Yes.
I'm going to put it in drive. And drive. And I'm immediately we're driving all the way to Washington. We are not staying in Pennsylvania.
Okay. That's game.
Oh my god. I hate this dice system.
I love it.
I hate it. Because there's almost like, no matter what happens towards the end, there's a guarantee either someone's dead. It feels very... Do you want me to keep these numbers for next game?
No, we'll refresh.
Okay. It makes me feel like I don't have, like... With dice, you have a chance. With this, you don't.
You don't have a chance. That's the same sensation I had when I was playing Dread with Oz. I was like... I even looked as like, man, if he picks me next, I'm fucked. Because I'm terrible at this game.
That's pretty much how I felt through the entire thing. It was like, my stealth is jacked. There's either running or stealthing, and there's literally nothing in this game that I can be like, oh, I do this for creative points. Yeah. But, yeah. I mean, it works as a horror setting. It's just, maybe I'm not the right player to do it with, because I either like happy endings or it ending perfectly. For example, if Elliot does die, he has to be the next victim for the full moon. Because that would be perfect.
Oh, don't worry. Elliot might die, but it might just be of old age. But the story closes with a what the fuck.
Oh, is that the ending?
Yeah. You're not going to be going back out on that case.
No, definitely not. I thought we were going to have like an epilogue.
We can have an epilogue.
That would be nice.
Find out what happens afterwards. A conversation between...
I want to know if does Ellie get fired? Like, does he have to find something else to do? Yeah. Also, A said, yes, you're 100% correct.
She loves happy endings.
I like happy endings.
I am not. I don't care for happy endings.
The thing is, I've had too many personal bad endings in my own life and in D&D life that I need happy endings in my life.
I understand that. I, on the other hand, have become just
I don't mind.
Disconnected.
I don't mind some sad endings. I've had bad endings that, like...
Well, I mean, it was over time. The priest died.
Eh.
He was a bad person.
Eh. I did what needed to happen.
He got blown the fuck up.
I tried saving him.
You did.
I tried. But with this dice settings, it was impossible. Like, there was no way of actually getting past that. I don't know. No, you can play with it, but...
I enjoyed it, and I intend to keep using it for horror setting.
Good for you. Don't put me in that game.
Okay.
But
I love you,
if we
have
do
done
more...
an amazing job. I hope you have enjoyed the story.
I do, and I love it. I was a little... I don't know. Having, like, a whole world of alien life, I don't know. I kind of liked having the whole summoning thing, and the priest being like, oh, I summoned it and called it. And it's like, it would be okay if he called it from, like, a planet, but, like, having that all connected and having it now, like an actual invasion, I don't know, it seems more not horror, but, like, sci-fi fantastical type of thing. Kind of, I wouldn't say, like, War of the Worlds, but, like, I don't know. I can't think of a movie to compare it to or a book to compare it to. But that's the only thing that I was like, eh. But, like, everything else was fucking fantastic. Because, I mean, if chat saw me in the beginning, kind of, like, named the little girl, like, Natalie, who plays with this other thing, I didn't look at my notes at all. Even I grabbed my notebook and I opened it up for the last note that I took, which was at 4 a.m. I was attacked. And that was the last note I looked at. So it's like, there's not a lot of games out there that I remember people, even if it's a significant kid who had no real purpose.
I'm very glad you remembered Natalie's name.
Yeah, so I remember a lot of different things. I remember, like, plot points that needed to come up if I was questioned, which was, I don't know, there's, like I said, there's a lot of games that, D&D games that you ask me who that character was and I'll be like, I don't fucking know. So,
nice.
That's a plus. But I really did.
Like that.
And like I said, if you have any more Friday Night Frights, even if it's with Elliot again or someone else, I would love to play again. But
of course. And so
I'd have to get used to this dice setting though. I really don't like it.
So it was a suit of scout armor. Biological scout armor.
Okay. The thing that was chasing me in the brick area?
Yep. all those, they had a pseudopod that was designed purposely for infiltration, and they communicated using radio waves, and they saw an ultraviolet, so they couldn't see through glass, and they needed pretty much a well-illuminated night. They couldn't come out during the day.
Yeah.
They didn't have teeth, so they only ate soft tissues.
That juice in them.
Yup.
But yeah, I would like a epilogue if you want to do that next session or something, because that would be nice.
That would be nice. We'll definitely work toward that. I really liked this playthrough. I think the system is really fun. I liked running a thriller game. I like running a thriller game. I really do. I enjoyed it. I liked at the end you're just like run. It was so fun.
So the thing is,
constant chase.
Well, it's like I said with this dice pool, I'm less confident to stop and fight things. Plus, like, I'm trying to think of like, what would Elliot do? And the thing is, like, I was even when I was right next to the little girl that was just picking up trash, which odd. I was debating on like talking to it because I thought that they could actually speak, and then I was like, they can't speak. That would just be seen. And I was like, you know what? I know what Ellie would do. He would just shoot her in the fucking head. Leave.
It was one of the other scouts that had just come over and was exploring and was using its spy pod to explore the world from safety. See, after you kill the spy pod, the creature will sever it and then go regenerate a new spy pod. So it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I mean, that's shooting your toe.
That's another thing. Did Joe survive? I think we'll do that in the epilogue. I think she's dead. But the thing is, she's also a very good survivor from what we've seen. She could be alive, for all we know. But I think we'll tackle that in the epilogue.
We will.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, it is definitely past 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying up with me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's hung out and enjoyed this story from beginning to end. I enjoyed writing it.
I enjoyed playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will be back. I'm not looking at my schedule right now, but keep an eye on the original box set schedule. I will put our stuff up here so you can have a link if you don't already have a link.
I'll be back the 24th. Right? Not the 24th.
It's a link to our channel, our page, our website.
Or something. No, we're doing a break, aren't we?
13th.
For Shattered Isles.
Shattered Isles.
That's a Friday.
So
the 14th, the Saturday. I have to pee really badly.
14th.
I've been drinking a lot of tea. I'll be right back.
13th and 14th. Go do your thing. I'm going to do some closing up stuff, and then when we come back, you can do your pitch. 13th and 14th are the next dates for that, for the Shattered Isles, as well as for Friday Night Frights. And so that's when we would be doing an epilogue where we hang out for a bit and talk about what happens next and what happened to her. Oh man, guys, so while Paige is gone, I run this world, this Friday Night Frights with my wife and my friend Jeff. Jeff hangs out with us every once in a while, and he likes watching the shows and stuff. And they're like, oh man, this is some good stuff, you know. Like they ran across not sci-fi kind of crap, weird crap, but magical crap. Like, in this world, humans can't see magic. That doesn't mean they can't do magic. You just got to get really good at it. And so that makes it an odd twist, as they're just trying to learn things. It's a fun game. Oh, I think she's gone. She's forever gone. Dead air. I know, right? Oh. Well, she does artwork. I would post her stuff. But I can't. Let's see. Talk about soap. Yeah, we can talk about soap. So, we will be going to... Was it SpaceCon? Where are we going next weekend?
We're going to Cocoa Beach.
Next weekend, we're going to Cocoa Beach. And
Yes, Space Coast Comic Con.
Space Coast Comic Con. So if you guys are in the Cocoa Beach area and the hurricane this weekend hasn't destroyed everything, it's not going to destroy anything. Come check us out. I don't know the booth number. Come wander the artist area and look for us.
I can get the booth number.
Ooh, could you look up the booth number?
Yeah, it's really easy. One moment.
I am back.
She made it.
I'm alive. I did not get attacked by were trucks on the way to my bathroom. Though my cat did scare me. She ran out of her bedroom
Alright.
and nearly tripped me, and I was like, Jesus, Ezia.
I'm in the main vendor room.
We will be in the main vendor room.
C9.
C9 is going to be our booth number. So if you guys are over at the Space Coast Comic Con, come check us out. Vendor room, C9. Come hang out with us. We'll talk about gaming. I'll tell you more about the world with bioorganic stealth scout armor. And we can just talk about a bunch of gaming stuff. That being said, if you guys like to hang out and talk about gaming stuff, we have a Discord. And on our Discord, we talk about gaming stuff. We talk about things like, what would realistic mecha look like if you were to write rules for a fantasy world that is based around Hollywood? What would those rules be like? Or, stuff. So we talk about things. That's also where our scheduling is done and where we just engage in conversation and share stupid pictures and artwork and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Paige so she can do some pitching.
Hi. Hello. I'm Paige. I'm a person that does things. I'm sorry if I'm trying to get links. I'm trying to get links ready. I exist. I'm a person. If you think that this is staged, it's not. I'm fucking weird. Okay, first things first. Hi, hello. I played Elliot this session. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry that I'm a sore loser when it comes to bad endings, but I like happy endings. What can I say? As a normal person, I draw for a living. That's what I do to make money. It's not very good income for a job, but that's what I do, and I love it, and it makes me happy. So the first two links, actually I should do that separately. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at the Ram Queen, or at Twitter at the Ram Queen. The Ram Queen has two N's, by the way. Or you can contact me on Discord, which I'll put my thingy in there right now. And you can look at my artwork and go, wow, she's terrible, and then not buy anything. And then you can be like, you know what though? Thanks, Asa. Thanks, Carl. You know what though? My friend though, she likes horrible artwork. I'll link it to her. Share it around. And or chances are you'll look at all my stuff and go, wow, she's actually really good. And then buy it. And then contact me and buy it. And do all that and make me happy. with money so I can, live and help my family live. Other than that, I also do things on Shadowcasters Network.
Yeah.
I do things like Anarchy. I do things like Once Upon a Tabletop. Anarchy is basically Shadowrun Anarchy, the actual book, Shadowrun Anarchy, except we do it crazily. And, well, the other one, what did I say the other one? Once Upon a Tabletop is basically we take... I was only on there for a couple of things that I don't know if I'm going to be, requested back. But they do... they take a board game and they're like, you know what? It would be more fun if you role-played it. So games like Life and Betrayal and House on the Hill and, like, Time Agents, Time Lords. I was in that one. I forgot the title of it. But they take that game and they slap it onto that one video game that you can play board games on that I can't think of right now, but it's that system, a Board Game Simulator 2000. I don't know. You can play games on it, and that's how we do it. But Tabletop Simulator. Thank you. But other than that, I also do stuff here. I play a wizard normally.
Yeah, on the Shadowcasters
You don't see my wizard
Network.
hat, but I have a wizard hat somewhere. But yeah, that's Shattered Owls. I believe our next game is much, much later in the future because of stuff. Have you told them about a date?
The 14th. It should be the 14th. I think that's what I told Oz. Let me just check real quick.
So you might want to check.
There's a button here.
But yep. I would normally do Anarchy every other Monday, which means next week. But the thing is, the lovely GM that is Oz lives in Florida. And apparently there's a hurricane named Dorian that's attacking Florida. Which I find not hilarious because it's terrible, but I find it ironic, rather. I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and so many different things have been popping up left and right about... There's a moth in my room. About Dragon Age Inquisition. And then they named the fucking Hurricane Dorian. I won't have to explain it. You can Google it if you don't know Dragon Age Inquisition. But to all my Floridians, be safe. Even if it's like an everyday thing for you, be safe, be smart. But yeah, that's why we're not having Anarchy. It seems like it's gonna get that bad where Oz is gonna lose power and stuff. So
it's not gonna be that bad. Okay, so we're gonna have an educational moment about Hurricane 101. This is from a Floridian to the rest of the world, if you guys are paying attention. They turn in one particular way, and there are sides to a hurricane that are good and bad. Right now, Oz is on the good side of the hurricane. If it hits Miami, he's on the kind of the not so bad side. If for whatever reason it goes below him, so like, say you're looking at the map, you're looking at the cool radar picture that's doing its thing, and you watch it spin. It's that spin. Imagine it's like a slapping hand coming towards you. So you got to think of there a bunch of hands going slap, 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 right? Yeah. And if the open palm is moving in the direction the wind is curling, so that's how it is. And so if you're about to be slapped, as it comes on shore, it's gonna hurt. Generally, that's the northern side of a hurricane. And you can just look at the hurricane and know that the side that's coming off the water and onto the land is carrying all this water and wind, and it's going to dump it. So if the hurricane doesn't hit Cocoa, let's say it hits higher than Cocoa, we here in Jacksonville are going to feel it. So that's how that all works out. When it hit New York City, when it went up to New York City, it's because New York City is the area where that was at is a curve. So the hurricane, everything was coming off of the ocean. And so that's why it dumped a whole bunch of water on New York, about a decade ago. And they were like, there's sharks in the street. Ooh, sharks.
Hurricanes are fun. You know what I have to deal with in Michigan? Weather changes and tornadoes. but we barely get tornadoes. And if we do, it's a warning, and then you'll hear about a touchdown, and then some cow that got flung, and that's it. That's all you hear. Welcome to Michigan, where it's raining in the morning and then snowing in the evening. So...
Yeah, that's really us for hurricanes, too. It's just an excuse to get out of work and get pissed for a few days. This is our current schedule for Shattered Isles that I have yet to publish. It's in the over here in the Slack conversation
that's perfect for me because I only have the first one in my planner, so
good. Paige, at some point you and I need to get together and play around with some computer programs. We're going to try to get Tailspire up and running still.
Great.
And I'm going to use it for Shattered Isles, where you're using one of my I have a program. Anyways, that's not important. Not important. It's late. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and my brain's starting to shut down.
Wait, hold on. Radio. Michigan being too cold was the death of a serious long-term relationship. Seriously? If a girl or a guy or a person broke up with you because it was too cold, fuck them. Don't fuck them, but fuck them. Michigan is not too cold. It is not. I'm sorry, but we can walk outside in fucking shorts at 40-degree weather and feel fine. If you live in Michigan, you're fine. If you live somewhere else, you're gonna be... Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing if people who live in Pennsylvania or around this area. You're gonna be fine in 30 to 40-degree weather. It's just when it gets like... When it spikes, when it's like, let's say... Today was, I think, 60-something or 70-something, I don't know. And your body was, like, normal to it. That's fine. You're fine. And then, let's say it stays that way and it gets hotter and your body gets used to that heat and so you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. And then it drops to, like, fucking 60 and you've been in 90-degree weather, you'll be cold. It's everywhere you go. It's the same thing with, like, my cousins. Yes, my cousins, my uncle, my aunt. They live in Texas, so whenever they visit, it'll be like 60 and they'll be freezing. It's because they're so used to the heat. It's just your body gets used to temperature-wise and whatever.
Yep.
Michigan's just fun the way it is because, like I said, like yesterday. Yesterday was sunny and windy and gorgeous, but the wind kept coming and then it clouded up and it started thunderstorming and it got really cold. That's just Michigan. It's also probably... global warming, but we'll not get into that. So, yeah, it was really nice today. I wonder if it was 40 degrees here too, but it was really nice. Don't complain about your weather. Be fucking thankful that you have a house over your head that you can actually survive in this weather.
Yay, surviving. 90-degree weather here.
Welcome to 2 a.m. rants with Paige. I will literally stay on air for that.
Oh,
just complain.
Well, I won't, and I control the on-off switch.
It's
so
true.
This is the part where we say goodnight.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. This was a blast.
It was really nice.
We love you guys, and you guys have a wonderful night.
Yeah. Stay frosty, my dudes.
Stay frosty.